Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Monday, November 17th, 2025. This show begins right about now. I hope that worked. We're gonna try to do that every time. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube and on today's awesome show. How good is Las Vegas actually? As you know, I have them in the playoffs, but have they made enough moves to contend at all, really? I'll break that down. We have a guest, Dawson Nielsen, who has so many hats right now, he should start a store. We're going to talk to him about growing the game in all kinds of different places, including with a new podcast. We'll also talk to him about the NLL upcoming season. And finally, my playoff rank begins with my 8th ranked team. And remember, this week we got 8, 7, 6, 5. We get to number 4 this week on Friday, and then on next Wednesday is when I unveil my number 1 team. But yeah, we're getting close, folks. It's getting late very early. That doesn't even apply there. It's fine. Before we get started, I want to let you know this show is presented by the ticketing platform at natalkradio.com. Head there now to support Natter and Daily Dive and click the Event Tickets tab and search for your favorites National Lacrosse League team. We are very excited for that. It just gives us a little bit of compensation. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's get to our first topic here. Again, we thank you so much for tuning in to Daily Dive. Oh, I also found the preseason scores, so those are fun. Those are scrolling across the screen. I actually shout out to Dave Buchanan, who did the Lord's work between Las Vegas and Buffalo, because their team's social media decided to take a nap the entire weekend. But shout out to Dave for being on the track there. All right. We know, and I've talked about it quite a few times, that Las Vegas has added Mitch Jones. I reported that first, but don't worry about that. I told you guys I'm going to let go of the reporting hat probably sooner than you think. So I reported Mitch Jones. He went to Vegas. Shocker. They also added Chase Fraser of the Buffalo Bandits. And they also added Chris Kluche and defender Tony Malcolm. Now, I do want to get to Chris Kluche first because there was a podcast of sorts. It was a listen interview. I want to see if Dan Dubziak is the guy's name, but I believe he's in the Buffalo area-ish. He's followed me for a while. I didn't realize he got into the podcasting, but he really good interview with Chris Kluche, and I shared it on my page. In fact, if you follow Daily Dive on Twitter, I will go and repost that thing now because it was really awesome. If I can find it right away, there it is. Yeah, so Dan Dubziak, how dare me? But yeah, he had an interview with Chris Kluche, and Chris Kluche was saying, was getting emotional, saying how he wanted to be in Buffalo, and then he said once this new being able to live in market thing happened where they could pay people and compensate them, etc. I don't know how the verbiage works, but you get it. He said he had to strike when the iron's hot, was a quote he used. And again, he also said he was so close to Buffalo that he had a nice family-only wedding, and the only 2 people that showed up that were not family members were Dane and Josh, who were teammates, who were technically family anyways. But it's like, that's how close he is with this team. But Vegas was giving him the money. I remember I told you guys there was a random burner account that popped up for, I swear to you, 48 hours. I have the screenshot somewhere in my phone, but I was like, wait a minute. Like, who are you? And then the guy just vanished. It was basically showing what the base, I think, salary was of Mitch, Chase, and Chris. But shout out to Kluche for doing what he does and for loving lacrosse. I'm glad he could be able to get money. I hope that he continues to put in the work. I'm sure he will. Chase Fraser, I believe, is the big domino or the big thing the big chicken that has to hatch, because we know that Chase Frazier can score the highlight reel goals. We know that Frazier has built his career up. He was not some highly touted prospect as far as I know, and was able to, over time, get awesome. If Mitch Jones is your star, and again, we still don't know what happens with Jack Hanna. I hope he's Jason Henderson. There's also a big whataboutism with that, okay? Chase Frazier is a major piece. There's also a goalie revolving door, at least as far as we know. I don't know. I'm not going to predict what happens. I'm saying Landon Kells, Justin Getty, Alex Bouquet, veteran. I remember he had the Barstool thing that was amazing. And of course, Caleb Kahn, the stud rookie. As I think Frick told us last Monday, maybe 2 Mondays ago, whatever it was, some time ago, Frick told us that there was another horse in the stable. I love the way he used that term. Caleb Kahn, is he the difference? Is it right away? And if you do have to switch goalies, I told you guys, if I'm gonna say that bothers Halifax, Vegas wants to make sure their day one goalie is their goalie this year, if they are going to contend. We don't know. How good are they actually? I thought I'd end the first segment by saying this. Dawson Nielsen, I'm not sure if it was the first ranked, but he did, according to what Pat Gregoire calls Dawson's algorithm, Dawson had a strength of schedule thing, Dawson Nielsen. And it was based on a variety of factors, and Vegas was pretty up there in terms of the top easiest schedules. That could help. I know that Joe's, like Papa Joe has money and stuff like that, but sometimes that doesn't help travel a lot. I think the schedule does help, knowing you might have less travel than other teams. We'll see how that plays a part. What the heck? We'll see how that plays a part moving forward. How good is Las Vegas actually? Stay tuned. But let's talk to Dawson Nielsen on the other side of this break about that algorithm that he built and about other things like Loose Mesh and Edmonton and all kind of things. Oh, and NL season preview. A lot of stuff to get to, and we have time. He's also in a special place. That'll be fun. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. Our guest is coming up next.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Good morning, Dawson. How are you, sir?
Hey, man, not too bad. How are you?
I'm great. I don't know if the first thing was announced on the notes. Don't worry about it. But we have you as Timber Tiger something or other. Host of Loose Mesh, IL Indoor Writer, new hat, NLL Insider Reporter. I don't know. I just put Insider. And follow you at Dawson J. Nielsen, among other things. But that was good. Are we good on that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, it's all good. You know, we all wear a lot of hats around this league, you know, trying to build this league as much as possible.
Hard.
We all have a huge part of it. Fans, media, players, owners, you know, even the commissioner, he has a huge part of it as well.
Correct. Thank you for joining us, sir. Where are you? I know it's dark, but it's not like Edmonton dark.
Yeah, I'm in Hawaii. I'm on the island. The big, beautiful land of the USA.
Yeah, okay. Big volcano guy over here.
Yes.
How long are you there for, if you can divulge that information for us?
I'm here for 7 days. Coming out here for vacation.
Goodness.
Tonight we're shooting the podcast for episode 2 for Loose Mesh. So that's a really big guest that's coming on. I'm not going to tease that one. You guys will see that one coming out soon.
Fair enough. Have we done the first? The first episode is available on Spotify and audio stuff. Have we gotten Mr. Editor to release the YouTube files yet, or not?
I haven't received it yet. I'll follow up with them today. We're definitely going to be on YouTube. It's one of the platforms that you have to be on in order to grow as a podcast, in my opinion. And this podcast is just starting up right now, but it's been taking a ton of heat, and I'm looking forward to it.
Heat. Okay. I'll take your word. I like that. So let's talk Loose Mesh, because that is the newest endeavor, at least I think. You guys hit on Mitch Jones. I have not listened to the full first episode, but I did. the freaking Steve Toll stuff is going to be fun.
Oh man,
their banter is nuts, man.
I wish I should honestly put a camera behind me and just record the stuff that doesn't hit the airwaves.
Yeah. It's
just the stuff that we're just talking about, before we start recording.
Correct.
I mean, that is pure gold, man. Some of that stuff is just pure gold. The Frick and Tool just going after each other. I'm almost beat red by the time I get onto the podcast, just because I'm laughing so much.
Well, now we know why you look bashful if he starts off the show like, "Okay, guys, welcome to Loose Mesh." Only crying. Was this your idea? Was it a collective? Or can you tell us that? How did this start? What was the goals of this whole thing?
Yeah, so I always kind of wanted to make a podcast. And then, I was listening to the morning shoot around with the boys, and
so good.
They're kind of like, we can't have Frick's picks and whatever and that kind of stuff. I'm like, perfect. There's one guy. And then, Steve Toll, I've always chatted him up. We always had a chat, and he has stories, man, that should be talked about. So, and then I just hey, man, you coming on or what? And he goes, yeah, I guess so, Dus. You just kind of throw this at me. I have no choice. And I'm like, no, you don't have a choice. You're coming on.
How is that? It's once weekly. You're gonna do a podcast, right?
Yeah, it's a weekly podcast. It's a weekly podcast. We're interviewing the top NLL players, top people around the National Lacrosse League.
Nothing less.
Nothing less. No, man. We're not here to play nice. We're here to shake the sport. Loose Mesh is a player-driven first podcast. No filter, no corporate BS, no media band BS. Built by the boys, for the boys, for every fan who's tired of the watered-down interviews and the cookie-cutter coverage, man.
It gets old, don't it? It gets very old and boring.
It's old and it's boring. Your show here itself. It's not cookie cutter. It's to the point, and we love it. We love it a lot. So I appreciate what you do for the show.
Well, you too, because I think there's value in certain, I won't name names, but certain podcasts that are just getting the fun, good-hearted stuff. But if everyone does that, it's that's. Come on now. I like to, obviously I have fun on my show. I like to give, some big takes, but you guys are going to tell the backstory and the locker room stuff. It all creates a dynamic, and we all can coexist. And again, shout out to, was it Jake Elliott who mentioned a bunch of the stuff? I think we all should coexist and embrace what each one is doing. But like you said, we do need a little bit of, sometimes.
No, I mean, exactly. Jake Elliott talks about lacrosse, and he does a good job about it, and he goes in a different way that we're doing.
Correct.
You go in a different way that we're doing. Morning shoot around, they go in a different way than anyone else is going, right? So there's all these different podcasts, but all the different podcasts bring a different value to the sport. And that's the biggest part. If you have the same kind of stuff over and over, you're not going to be able to grow, because I don't want to listen to the same story that someone else just told a week ago. I want to listen to new stories. And in lacrosse field, there's so many stories that haven't hit the airwaves. Like, we always hear the airwaves of the NBA, the NHL, and all those type of stories.
Everything about it.
It's crazy, the amount, like Spit and Chicklets, the amount of stories that they come out with.
That's what I'm saying.
It's disgusting. I'm telling you, if half the stories in the NL would come out, Spit and Chicklets would look dumb.
Don't be scared of it, boys. We're talking about the NLL players, of course. It's fine.
That's right. And
there are some things that are going to be left not under the rug, but just left because it's not like, okay, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it is good. Yeah. The fun stuff.
I mean, you kind of heard it in episode 1 of I recommend you go and listen to Loose Mesh, the podcast on episode 1. We did talk to Mitch Jones about when he got suspended from the WLA and the Queen's Park ghost of how someone locked up a couple referees in the Man Cup. So, there's a couple stories like that where it's just like, not a lot of people know about those, man. And those are the stories that, I know I love listening to. So I think other people are going to love listening to.
People relate when they realize, and it's like bittersweet because, and I don't want to harp on this forever, but it's bittersweet because this league is not big yet. And so there's a lot of the everyday bro stories that other leagues may not have. They're not pampered billionaires here. They are fighting their firefighters and mechanics, no offense, but to fight their way up. This is the everyday people. We need that to be told. I like that.
100%.
All right. You said you're recording the next episode today?
Yeah, today. We're recording it today.
I like that. If your Wi-Fi holds up, then Frick's in trouble. Okay, so you mentioned, I believe in episode 1, about a junior A news.
Yeah.
I don't know the words that you said, but can you explain that to fans like myself who maybe they are coming onto the NFL recently and they hear about all this junior A, senior B, junior Z stuff? What is that and why does it matter to you guys up north?
It's pretty much the principle of lacrosse here up in Canada. Think of junior A of the NCAA of lacrosse for box lacrosse, okay? Except everyone's tougher, everyone hits harder.
Love it.
And no one's afraid to chirp, and no one is afraid to have some school that's going to come down after something hits the floor. You just never know what you're going to see any day of the week in these junior A leagues. It's the Canadian pipeline for every NLL star. Coquitlam, Orangeville, Whitby, Victoria. There's a couple guys now coming from Alberta. That's good growth. There's going to be even more couple guys that's coming from other places just with the expansion of the league. I look into Ontario. Can Carleton Green Gals come back? They had one heck of a run winning Minto Cups. They were the principal before Orangeville and Whitby was. So can they come back to the fold? Red Deer, who's between halfway in Calgary, what I'm being told is they're going to get a team. It's when they're going to get a team. I don't think they're going to get a team in this upcoming season, box season, but they'll get a team by 2027.
Next 5 years. Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
But again, I kind of released the news yesterday. Right. There is going to be another team in Canada. In Canada, there's a couple teams that are coming down the pipeline. One's a senior team and one's a junior A team. So the junior A team, I'm still trying to let's try to get it out there, nudge, nudge, budge, budge. But some people like to use tight lips and not sink ships. But I like loose lips, sink ships.
Oh,
treat storylines.
That's right. Loose lips create life. Anyways, that's horrible.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So you're saying with junior A, and I know you talk about a lot of cities and stuff too. Yeah. Is senior stuff, is that the NLL players? So is it junior A is the top of the line college level age players?
Yeah, there's a couple college a couple college kids that are playing in the senior routes just because the age. So junior goes from 16 to 21, and then senior
Junior A does?
Junior
Okay,
and several. And then there's from senior goes from 22 all the way up until whenever you want to leave. I mean, Joe Hall played up until, I don't know, man. That guy felt like he was a century years old by the time he hung up the gloves. So it's like, it's going to get better. It's going to get more. But I mean, I'll go back to it. NL will go to 30 games, and when they do, they'll move to the summer league. It's unstoppable.
That'd be nice.
You can't stop it. So the junior leagues and the senior leagues, you will kind of see them how they shape up until, I hate using the term, but like the AHL of the world or the CHL, like WHL of hockey of the world, where, you know, those are the growth for those leagues. That's where lacrosse is going to go. It has to happen.
I mean, the thing for me is that I mean, we're doing this on air, might as well. I'm like, I've heard.
Come on, Mike. Speak the truth. The people like the truth, man.
Well, it's like people like they'll talk about, you know, more teams. Obviously, that's with more money, but like, it's so blatantly obvious, especially with Major League Soccer getting bigger, especially down here. You have to go this summer. Why wouldn't you? And it might actually help the PLL somehow.
Yeah, and like I have had conversations over in the PLL just to try to like see what's going on. You get their side of the story, because when you talk about any story, you have to release both sides. Okay, so with the NLL knowing that they wanting to move the summer, okay, what is the PLL thinking of right now? Well, right now they're thinking of, hey, we want to get out of the hot summer months, because it's too much for the players. The players voiced that already.
They play outdoors. That's correct. That's right.
Yeah, so they want to get out of that. You know, if we get to cooler markets, play in the cooler markets for the time being, you know, probably play in the hotter markets. Well, you know, it's January to, you know, April. Maybe that's the best bet for lacrosse. That way we're out of, you know, we're out of the heat when the heat hits, and then we're inside of buildings where there's AC.
We don't just here, but do we know if the NLL is pursuing the summer? Because I would like to think it, but it's like sometimes you're like, what are they thinking? Like, we hear things, but like, do they really want this? Because I feel like if they do, it can happen, and it should happen.
I mean, Mike, like they can't even really schedule in some markets to get games. That's
what I'm saying. Like, they're losing teams because of it. Yeah.
If they're looking to expand to 30 games, you're 15 home games, 15 away games. Mm-hmm. So like, where are you scheduling these extra games if you can barely get scheduling now? Right.
So I guess let's just hope. And again, I'll leave this conversation on this part here. Let's just hope that the next CBA in 5 years, or maybe 4. Let's just hope that one provides more light. But obviously the key is growing it right now. But I'll do the merchandise thing. Like, can we at least, you know, Brett Thru can talk to his blue in the face by the next merch? God forbid, man. I've been waiting since 2022. Unbelievable. Like, we gotta figure that stuff out and make the money. Anyways,
that's a difficult, you know, like I totally agree, man. Like, I want to wear merch, man. Like, I'm still wearing this Rush shirt that I got from 4 years ago.
Bro, if I wear one more Daily Dive piece of merch on this show or a stupid dress shirt, I'm going to lose my mind. God. Okay. So let's do this. Let's do Montana Lacrosse League.
Yeah.
And the NLL stuff is coming.
For sure.
I mean, I said GM of Timber Tigers. How is are you involved with the Timber Tigers and is it GM?
Sure. Why
you heard it here first.
I might get in shit for this, but that's
who cares?
Yeah, but yeah, I took over the Timber Tigers after the year. You know, we made some pretty good trades, but I'll leave it at that. I don't want to take Cody's
that's not
Cody's fireworks. I don't want to get whipped, you know what I mean? Still the 50s in his age.
Oh jeez. He's like an old man. No, but what was your thoughts on Montana this past year? Like, you were a ref. Did you do how many MLL games did you do most of them?
I did all of them, man. So I did all of them. So I wear probably 40 hats down there as much as Katie as much as anyone else.
There are a lot
Those
of people
guys
do
are
that.
just beauties, and unreal experience.
Yes.
I was a referee. I did the goal horn. I did everything I possibly could do just to
There you
help
go.
them out. That's this is what we need. We need stuff like this to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who cares that the building's small and whatever?
Yeah,
It's
go
cool
cry in the
stuff.
lake. Like, I don't care.
I'm sorry, but like
Where else is Montana playing box lacrosse? Ask me that
nowhere.
question. That's what I'm saying.
So like this league, if you're playing in this league, like it's way smaller. So you got to be more creative. Like
Correct. More
tell
precise.
me another way to not to use someone's creative mind of playing the sport than just playing the ordinary game in a hockey arena facility.
Yes. And I'm not saying that Jake Nason would not be great, but if that's his first box experience, he almost like has to be physical right away.
Like
even
there's this much on that turf right now. There's this much of a gap from Jake Naso at the faceoff dot. That's how much of an indent that he put into the turf. Like
he
destroyed that turf, man.
What a story, man. But again, like I think like if there was, I know it's like box fields are still smaller than fields, but like they are still bigger than what that was, and you have to be physical right away in Montana. There is no hiding in the corner. Montana is right in your face constantly.
Yeah,
it's fine.
100%. 100%.
Hey, show me the farm league in the U.S., and then we can start arguing about the Montana Lacrosse League field size. Come on, and get 4 grade.
I love it.
Now let's talk National Lacrosse League.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got?
From see, he seems fine if he's asking for this.
Oh.
We'll exclude the Timber Tigers for now. Can the Crusaders run it back again? So like we have to, because if you're affiliated, we can't do that.
I mean, it's like people not ranking Buffalo in the top 5. Like they're back-to-back champions. You have to rank them up there. Rockhoppers, they got to be up there. But do you know who also flips into that seat? The Timber Tigers. I'm coming after the number 1 spot. You're
not scared of sled dogs? Don't answer that.
I'm not scared. Nothing, man. Nothing. Bring it to me. Design it. Let's go.
Fair enough. Who has the best logo in the league?
Best logo in the league.
I think it's the Jackalopes. But I think Timber Tigers and Jackalopes are right there though.
I'm not a big fan of the
yellow whatever, blue. Dude. What is it with you guys, man? I love that stuff.
Give me the little chipmunk, man.
Fair.
We're chippy, but we're going to get the job done every single day of the week.
Yeah, I talked to a person on the Jackalopes, and I thought he would love it. He did not. I'm like, how do you not like the highlighter yellow? It's unique. What are we doing? Oh, now see, it's the National Lacrosse League talk. My bad. Okay. Before we get to this, are you on Loose Mesh? Are y'all going to do a season preview of sorts?
We'll do a little bit of a season preview, but my mind and then everything.
We're coming out the tent.
everything kind of like talks like. At the end of the day, my mind switches from who's going to win it every single day of the week. Like after I go and see what's going on, I don't know, man. Like my surprise, like not a really surprise to me, but I think some people is what the San Diego did to Vancouver.
Oh, you mean made Del Bianco look lost? No one. I'm just gonna say it now. I'll be the first to say it on the air.
Yeah, like
that's scary.
I'm not really like concerned with it at all because with them because man, they're bringing in guys that are two-way players that want to play both sides of the floor, and that's where Vancouver, the game's going.
Or San Diego?
Yeah, well, San Diego.
Okay, San Diego.
You saw it, right? You saw it with Sask last year. They're playing on both sides of the floor. Jake Boudreau, what a guy. What a stud. He's a stud, man.
I've liked
Give that guy a stud muffin and put him up on the top shelf.
Correct. See, I mean, I'll put it this way. For people that want to say it's just preseason, you try telling Kermit Olofsky to his face losing 17-11 is just preseason. That's what he says. Period. My blasted players on the air.
Yeah.
Good. Good. That's how he coaches, but I'm just saying.
He didn't really like how getting lost. Did you see the interview, man? He was pissed off. He goes, "We got to play
Oh.
better. We got to play better. We got to be in the trenches more. We can't just like show up and understand that we're just going to win the league because everyone says we're the best." Well, guess what? Everyone else thinks that they're best. They want to come down there for you, and they're going to try to take you out.
Correct. So I was going to ask you, is San Diego your surprise team? Are you willing to jump on that?
Yeah, San Diego.
Is O'Leary back, or like, are we still? I know we're still fighting fires. Get it? But like,
Yeah.
are we? Is he going to start the season, or do we not know?
He will start the season for sure.
Okay.
Next week, San Diego plays Las Vegas in the preseason action.
Okay.
So like we'll see. I'm kind of interested of where they go with San Diego. They have 3 young goalies there.
Redlick is MLL alum, for the record.
Redlick, and then we also have Dunkerley. Do they keep all 3, or do they ship one out? And I don't know, man. I'm not keeping Steve Fryer on my books any day of the week, but that is an option, I guess.
I mean, it's possible. I feel like if O'Leary starts, obviously the whole year, I still think they missed the playoffs in my mind. I mean, I got to roll with my prediction, but I still feel like, I don't know. I feel like some of those teams are like how effective San Diego have always been right there, but can you always keep trying to contend without contending before falling flat on your face for a year? I don't know. Like, O'Leary, is he going to, he's like the Brett Dobson right now. Is he going to take that massive step, or are we going to keep on waiting another year?
I don't know, man. I have a different take on like Brett Dobson and Big Rig, but like the 2 guys are not hurting their team whatsoever.
That's fair.
But
they're
play
not
better defense. Play better.
That's true.
Play better offense. Score more goals in the playoffs than 4. Like, I don't care if it's hard. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Score goals, man. You're paid to do that. As an offense in the playoffs last year, you failed your job. You failed your job before. Like, we should never have a game that ends 5-4 in the playoffs. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Like, what year is this? Jeez, check your watches. My goodness.
What are we playing here, man? U15 lacrosse or U13?
Yeah.
Like, this is the NL, man. Give us 11 goals per game. Let's go.
I like this. Kai the goalie child. Sweet future Swarm legend right there. So, do you have like an MVP? I know you're biased for Mitch Jones right now because he's an episode 1 guest. I don't know how that can feel, man. It hurts. So, do I want to say
Jones?
I mean, if Jack Hare does not play, is it Mitch Jones? Or can Mitch Jones step up and take the MVP if they make the playoffs?
No question, man. Look what he did look what he did with Philly, man.
And now he doesn't have Joe Rez.
In the last 2 years, though, like he got
and now he doesn't have a sidekick.
Fraser, he got Webster, Patras, like go down the list, man. Our teams. The thing is, our teams are going to be able to keep up with Las Vegas. You know what I'm doing? I'm smashing the over for the next 4 weeks straight. Every single game in the first 4 weeks, I'm hitting the over in the Las Vegas game.
I actually like that.
That's easy money. Easy money. Give it to me.
I like that. Pat McGraw might be sleeping because he was celebrating the Grey Cup last night, but
Better
I do
than
like
the
that
NFL,
a lot.
Baby.
Chances that I know saying Del Bianco wins MVP is like kind of like, well, can the Bandits 4P? Well, duh. Give me a reason that Christian Del Bianco can be better than the best offensive player. Because I don't think people realize the roster in Vancouver has got to matter. I know I did with shooting on. No one wants to listen in my direction. I'm telling you now, if we're going to say Del Bianco's MVP hopes, the roster's got to fail him sometimes. You can't have it both ways.
No, 100%. I think, surprise MVP.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Ryan Smith, man. The way he did it in the Man Cup this year, that's just can he break 100 points this season? Maybe. The offense looks pretty good over there in Rochester, and that's kind of sleeper, man. Like Zed Williams, Ryan Smith, Ryan Launchbury, Connor Fields.
There's a lot of people. They added the name. They added everyone's favorite teammates, but the guy no one wants to play against, Nathan Grennan.
Yeah, I mean, like that
tell
guy too, man. That guy.
He can also score. That's the best part. Like, he will set a screen to get your best defender out of the game by pissing him off with a penalty, and he'll also score a goal anyways.
Cody's listening here. So if you ask Cody what offensive player that every team needs in the entire league, and that's Clark Walter. Well, guess what? Rochester just got one guy here, and Grennan.
So I don't know if you heard Cody what he said about Grennan a week ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still on kind of pissing him off, but we can't ask him about Grennan yet.
Yeah, it's
still simmering.
It's a piss off, man. It's a piss off. Like you shouldn't. It's preseason. Why are you trying to chop some dude's head with your elbow off?
But like Cody did mention, why did the Rush not jump him in return? You know,
that's why I liked it when they picked up Liam Verge. Like that's another guy should be able to provide that little nastiness. You kind of saw it in the PLL this year for PLL players, fans. Sorry, but can he be the guy that steps up and provides more of the nastiness for Sask? That's to be determined. I know a lot of people haven't been impressed with Verge lately. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely on that train. I haven't been impressed.
Wow. Well, it takes time. So you're sleeper MVP with Ryan Smith. Well, that was a certified Ryan Smith moment. Thank you for that, sir.
Of course.
I know you said your sleeper team might be like San Diego.
Yeah.
Who wins it? I already told you. People don't realize this. I've told 2 people who I think wins it all.
Yeah.
Without giving that information away to the people, because I'm not going to. I hope you don't. Who do you think wins it all? Like if I put something to your head right now, you gotta make an answer, or give me 20, whatever. Who wins it?
Okay, I don't like. This is a hot one off the press for you, Mike, but I think it has to be talked about. I don't think Buffalo is going to be there because Vince is 43 years old. Okay, if he gets hurt, there's no goalie behind him in Buffalo right now that can rise to the occasion. Sognosh is too long. My opinion, Konstantopoulos, I don't know if he's an NL goalie, man. You have to be able to move.
If he wasn't an NL goalie, I think Matt Vince has an easier time retiring. I could be wrong. But if he's really good, I don't know.
Exactly. Who wins it? With a gun to my head.
About this? I guess you said it changes every day because it's changed in my head a couple times too.
I mean, Vancouver has to show up for once, and in the preseason, I don't care. But if your goal is to make the NL final and to win the whole thing, show up every single day of the week. You failed the first job.
That was bad.
Maybe show up the first game in the preseason and go out there and show to everyone that, hey, this is our time, and pack the bus. We're winning the whole thing. They failed it. They didn't do the job.
That was their first one?
Yeah, well, that was their first preseason, man.
That's brutal.
It's a bad showing. It's terrible.
Especially when you know it's being broadcasted on the national airwaves of NLL Plus. I'm sorry. But, no, it's true. Is this one of those leagues, and I know you know players, but is this one of those leagues where you have to be extra careful with being complacent because you were not a millionaire yet? Or do you think it helps you more?
I don't know, man. They're bringing back a lot of guys from the 2019, so they do have, some glue in there for sure. But
do you think isn't there kind of a blueprint though? Can't we watch the old games?
Well, there's some changes, right, with Keegan Ball and Owen Grant and Reed Browering. So there's
how they kept them is beyond me, by the way. I want to see every transaction in Vancouver right now, man. I want to see how they lost nobody, man. Absolutely no one left that team.
The prospect that they left up, not prospect anymore, but the guy that went to Calgary, he's pretty dang good. So, I mean, they got a bunch of picks in that trade with Del Bianco too. So it's not like Calgary didn't get anything. They didn't get a lot for Del Bianco.
They got their red uniform back, but I don't think that's applies to Vancouver.
Did you see where Curtis Dixon has just shorts rolled up? I'm like, can we not order the guy proper sizes, man? I'm
How
sorry.
about the Oshawa Firewolves? Right flat. God bless them, but that poor girl, Prima, whatever, is talking to Dyson Williams in Oshawa, bragging about the first preseason game in Oshawa. It has an AFW on the shorts. We couldn't order anything that's in Oshawa for the star player.
I mean,
He doesn't have anything he
you
can
would
wear.
hope, right? You would
Oh my
hope.
lord!
Yeah,
At least
for
wear
sure.
black gym shorts while you're doing that, man.
For sure.
I was not happy. And again, with the way the merch is going, I don't know if we're gonna have anything by the time it comes.
We'll wear pennies by the end of the year.
Oh jeez. Yoga pants. Hey, you want to sell the league, man? Anyways, unboxed.
Yes.
How close are you to Edmonton? I know you said growing the game, Alberta area. How close are you to that barn that they're going to play in?
I'm within half hour, man. Like,
wow, you lucky schmuck.
I live just outside of Edmonton.
You're going then to that game? Or
obviously, I'm gonna go to the game.
Media though, you gotta get media. You don't gotta pay for tickets. You're good.
Hopefully.
No, you'll be good.
Thru would hit your boy up, you know.
No, just email me, say, hey, can I get a media pass? It's not hard.
Listen, this one hits me at a different, like I love that they're coming back, and it hits me at a different. It's like almost personal to me.
Okay.
It pisses me off because the way that they scheduled this. Why are you scheduling a game in Edmonton at the same time when minor hockey? So minor hockey is being played. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the biggest tournament of all of Edmonton minor hockey. Okay, every team plays into it. Like, you couldn't figure that out. Like, schedule around with it, man. Yeah. Patty, how's it going, Patty, man?
Good morning, Pat. How's the Grey Cup? How's the Grey Cup?
How's the Grey Cup? Better than NFL. Better than NFL. 3 towns are better.
Oh, jeez.
Keep it the same. But anyhow, like, they scheduled it right around when Edmonton minor hockey was like right on. It took me literally an hour to figure that out for what's going on in hockey during the time of why tickets are not being sold. Yeah. As Brett Fruit said, there's a bunch of tickets that get sold. But,
according to him, come on, man.
I mean, I've looked through the numbers. It's about 30% of the lower bowl of Rogers Place that's sold. But we got to get to a sellout. Yes. And then from the conversations that I have with a bunch of people, and then around Edmonton is like, Doss, like we want to go, but we don't know where our kid's going to be playing for minor hockey. So we can't really give up that to go and watch a game.
Wait, so what you just said, I would put on here where, like, to really emphasize what you just said. Yeah. Their whole goal is to grow the game in Edmonton, and you said a person might not go because their kid who might be interested in lacrosse is playing what again? Hockey. At the same time? Hockey. What the heck?
Yeah.
The jokes write themselves.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
You're welcome.
Fricks. What's going on, Fricks?
Boys!
This is so stupid.
Boys! How are we now?
This is so dumb.
We're taking over your show, Mike.
Is it a loose mesh hat or not yet?
Not yet.
This is Dirty Birds, baby. Dirty Birds, Black, ATL.
Okay.
So,
it is ATL.
ATL, yeah. We're on the plane coming back from Virginia. Big tournament win for the 34 National League squads. Snaps.
Okay.
And this guy gets on the plane, and I'm wearing my Team 23 hat because, I'm always repping Team 23. And he looks at me, he goes, "That's a nice hat." And I look at him, I go, "You know what, fella, like yours isn't the worst either, right?" And we just kind of eyes lock up and we go, switcheroo, here we go.
Oh, geez. Did y'all change underwear too?
Well, yeah, like I was wearing my banana hammock, but,
Oh.
Hey, Mike, make sure you congratulate that guy. He won a championship, man, over the past weekend. Frick, what's going on over there?
Just living the dream, man.
This all do.
Waking up in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. I haven't even had a morning chew yet, right? So let's go.
What is the age range for those? Now I see Kai the goalie commenting about Dirty Birds.
Yeah, Kai's a legend down here, apparently. All the young lads talk about that fella.
He's
apparently just a rocket in the cage, too. I rock. I do 33, 34. So that's what, like U12,
cool.
U10, something along those lines. But
You don't even know the age of the kids.
No, God, no. I just show up and coach, baby. Win ships, show up and coach, win ships.
Oh man, all this. Okay, that's good. So, what made you want to join the Dawson train today?
I love my boy Doss. Right? We have a good time. I just wanted to make sure you were treating him right. I just wanted, don't bully him. No clickbait, none of that. No pissing off Fred Thompson today. None of that, right? Let's just have a little bit of fun. Put smiles on everybody's faces. Live a little bit of the Frick life, and hey, let's go.
By the way, if you stay where you are now, the second episode should be really flawless on Wi-Fi.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Shut up.
Junior Steve Toll over here.
Oh yeah, right.
Steve Toll was in and out as well, man. You could barely hear him.
No, yeah. See, he's a one-story kind of fella, right? He only tells it the way that it works for him.
Oh, that's brutal. I'll just let the guy be here to defend himself, Rick.
No, you got to tear him down when he's not around. He's probably at work somewhere too, so he won't even hear this. It's perfect.
Hey, Frick, did you see Del Bianco getting shot every which way in the preseason game?
I didn't know that. I can't listen to that color. I can't listen to that color commentary.
Oh,
Lord. As soon as I heard it on, I just turned it right off.
You can just mute the TV, my guy.
Great, Fricky's going to bed. It was a long day on Saturday. Fricky went and hit the wrap.
To be fair, you are on the East Coast right now, so I see your point on that. I get that.
Yeah. No, come on, let's call a spade here. It's exhibition. None of this shit matters. Talk to me November 29th. The Toronto Rock enter the TCC and take on the Oshawa Firewolves.
Alabama, call them Alabama Firewolves.
I almost did call them the Alabama Firewolves. Yeah, I don't know.
At this point, I don't even know.
I'm a 2 coffee guy, and I've only had one so far. So we gotta get.
He says, "Tell your dirty birds the deep South Thrashers say what's up."
Kai, I'm not a dirty bird guy, man. I just like the hat. You want to send me some Thrashers hats? Let's go. Nashville Elite, baby. Nashville Elite
merch. Where is it snowing? Like, where are you at,
buddy? I'm going golfing later today. Look at this. We call this the Frick Mahal.
Dawson, I'm so sorry, man.
Hey, man, it's all good. Frick's my boy, man. We love to see all the time.
It's 5:48 in the morning where Dolphin's at right now, correct?
Yeah.
He's fine. This kid's a weapon. He's fine.
I live on 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep, man. Every day.
He messaged me the other day, and I was in Virginia, and it was like 6:35. And I messaged him back, and I'm sorry if nobody likes to swear, but I was like, what the fuck are you doing awake right now? It's 3:30 in the morning. Jesus Christ. And he goes to me, I don't ever sleep, Fricky.
Fricky.
I used to be like that too.
Oh, my Lord. Dawson just just wakes up and says, I got to write a story. Hey, Dawson, what's next for you, man? Like, what's on the table?
Man. What's not on the table, man?
Okay.
We're doing everything. We're coming and taking over. That's what Frick and I do. We take over Twitter. We take over anything that we can get our hands on. That's what's coming.
When is the Loose Match merch? We're gonna wait for that. We're gonna fire that up pretty quickly.
I don't know. We'll see.
Y'all might beat the NLL at this point.
We'll see. We'll definitely not go with Castor though. That's for sure.
You're just taking shots at everybody lately, Mikey. I love it, man. Just shoot from the hip. Pew 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 pew.
Well, I'm just from the hip. Like, if you guys how many times are we gonna hear about the next merch store, man? I can't stand it.
All of the times. They're just keeping us on our toes. Greggy, my boy, what's going on, Greggy?
Tickling me, man.
Greggy's still in one probably from winning.
He's still drinking the Grey Cup stuff.
Those Saskatchewan boys really know how to treat Greggy. He's probably just shaking right now.
Okay. Dawson, I appreciate you, man.
Of course, buddy. Of course. Anytime.
Rick, thanks for the big surprise from my boy over here.
No problem, Doss. Hey, we'll see you later tonight, kiddo.
See you, buddy.
Awesome.
See you later tonight.
Frick is cool, man.
Of course, cool. Yeah, he's cool.
But Dawson,
he's a good man. He's a good man.
It is cool. I appreciate you, Dawson, though, for all the work you do on Loose Mesh.
Of course.
I hope they sell a board in Edmonton. We can obviously do our part to help. Have you made the code you were telling me about you were going to do or not yet?
Not yet. I've been working on with so much stuff with Loose Mesh and trying to get that all organized, but that's on one of my top priorities when I get home, because as Cool Bet likes to say, you need boots on the streets, and screw it. I'm just going to be the boots on the streets for the NL, because I'm sick and tired of this game not expanding and not getting bigger. It hurts me, man. It hurts. It's disgusting. 2015, a team leaves after they win a title.
That's nuts.
It's been 10 years since they've been back, man. Like, I think, tell
the people to get out there, man. Tell them there's like $1 beers probably.
Oh, hey, Vegas is doing it. A lot of them support are going over there, man. I'm not sure if I'm doing $1 beers though in Vegas, man. Like,
well, if you're an Uber, like sign up now. If you're an Uber driver, get out there, man. Every home game, we need to ride home.
That's right. That's right.
Uber should also be a sponsor of that whole $1 beer thing.
Oh,
I feel like that would be like a nice way to like kind of make people like not wonder as much how they get home.
Maybe to the piss tank.
Walking home might end in sidewalk failure anyway, so that's what it is.
100%.
Are you going to sleep now?
No, man. I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna enjoy the big, beautiful land of the USA of Donald Trumpville, and
all that.
Enjoy Hawaii.
And we're all taking shots today. Thanks,
Drink
man.
some pineapple juice and just hang out on the beach. Man, maybe.
I like coconut.
We'll see.
Thank you, Dawson.
Maybe go to see the volcano that's supposed to be like popping off.
Yeah, please explode.
In the next couple of days.
That'd be nice.
That thing is supposed to explode while I'm here, man. I just found that out this morning. I'm like,
yeah, thanks, guys.
That's interesting.
And who did you fly with? Thanks a lot, WestJet. Idiots. Should have had a volcano hazard or something on my ticket. Oh, that's a shit.
The best turf in the National Lacrosse League, eh?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think you can. You can't not smile when you say that.
Unbelievable, man. Thank you, Dawson.
It's better in person. I'll say that.
What are we doing? This is not a political show. What are we doing here?
Freedom fries.
What are freedom fries?
Hey, fries are better. I had McDonald's yesterday, and Canadian
First time?
McDonald's. Yeah, in the U.S. Canadian fries, Canadian McDonald's is better than U.S. McDonald's.
Have a good day, Dawson. Have a good one. Unbelievable. The pride on this show. Okay, well, that was fun. When we come back, though, I've still got one more segment. I'm running out of time. I'm kidding. When we come back, I'm going to unveil my 8th ranked team. You don't want to miss it. This is Daily Live.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Who doesn't love an impromptu guest? I do. Kai the goalie continues the banter by saying, I had both Canada. Food has no flavor. Yes, sir, they do not. Correct. He gets a Mario coin. Okay. My 8th ranked team, Are you ready, folks? It is going to be, what a tease I am. This is correct. I like that. Why was his logo not showing up? That was weird. Anyways, his logo's an M, but you get it. I think Vegas makes the playoffs. I have them over Colorado. I have them over Ottawa. I have them one game over Halifax. It is what it is. And again, I did the tiebreakers here. I think Vegas makes the playoffs. I know it's kind of like, well, duh, we were going to because they haven't made your list yet. But I think they are the 8th seed. I believe they're going to, let's say, have a very awesome first-round matchup because obviously the 8th seed plays the 1 seed. So we'll get to that next Wednesday, like I said before. I think Mitch Jones, like Dawson said, could have a really awesome season. I do think Chase Frazier is going to have a really awesome season. Chris Cloutier could be a dark horse. How much better does Adam Poitras get? I hope that's a food show now. I hope that the coaching staff makes the correct decision on goalie. And again, no one knows what that correct decision is. But whether it is a trade for God knows who, whether it is the veteran Alex Bouquet, whether it is the opposite direction, the 18-year-old Caleb Kahn, or is it Landon Cowles and Justin Getty, whoever it is, Vegas fans and Henderson fans specifically, you're just hoping they make the right decision. And like Dawson said, you're hoping they score a bunch of goals. Because Vegas, if they can score a bunch and their goalie is even just a little bit good, it feels like they could win 8, 9, maybe 10 games. I think this team's regular season ceiling is 10 or 11 games. I don't think they get higher than that, but I think that 7 to 10, 11 range is about where they'll be because there's too much talent. So again, I don't think they have a bad season, even though 8-10 is technically a losing record. Well, it is a losing record. I just think that Vegas does enough and gets themselves a date with the number 1 seed. So that'll be fun. And of course, I didn't even get to ask Dawson this, but you've got the easy schedule. Less travel, less good teams that you're playing based on last year's standings. I think Vegas sneaks through. And again, it's going to be a tiebreaker because as I told you guys before, I did the tiebreaker. And I will unveil this now. I think I may have unveiled this last week, but just to reiterate and emphasize what I had last week, the record of Vegas is 8-10 for me. I had obviously the Mammoth at 8-10, and they were my 9 seed. The team I will reveal tomorrow also has an 8-10 record for me. But yeah, that's how we're shaping up so far. Vegas is in my playoffs as the number 8 seed. We will do more tomorrow on the 7 seed. I want to let you know that something is ticking down on November 28th. Remember, that is the first day of the NLL season. It's next Friday. And we just want to let you know something is on the horizon. The clock is ticking. But thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. That was a lot to take in for this episode. But it's Daily Diving. I don't know how I keep doing this. I told myself we're going to do 30 to 40-minute episodes. If it lasts an hour, which it seems like it's been doing a lot, I'm all for it. Tomorrow we have an awesome guest on the show. Stay tuned for that. This has been see? This is how low this show has fallen today. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. This has been Daily Dive. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, I still sound sick. And welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. This show begins now. We welcome you into Daily Dive. We want to let you know we are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe before you leave, or else I will be very sad. On today's awesome show, I am going to get into NLL merch. When? When? That's the question we're asking. When? How do you say it in Spanish? I don't know. When are we getting it? Oshawa seems to have some. We'll figure that out. Who is going to be the Las Vegas Desert Dogs goalie? Justin Getty has taken the fall. The former second-round pick has been released. And now Kells, Bouquet, and Khan are next up. But what should happen in Vegas? And finally, because I was a Will Schick baby yesterday, I'm going to get into my 6th and 7th ranked NLL teams as we narrow down our playoff predictions here. Before we get started, though, I want to let you know this show is presented by the event tickets tab at natalkradio.com. Yes, you can head to the Natter website and get your tickets for less by clicking the event tickets tab. And once you get there, search for your favorite or local National Lacrosse League team and let us know you were there. Tag Daily Dive LAX. Alrighty, let's get into it again. It is Wednesday the 19th. I was not here yesterday. Shame on me. I mean, I was pretty sick on Monday, and yesterday I was still feeling a little bit fatigued, but screw it, you guys don't care. We're just going to talk lacrosse now. All right, NLL merch. Let's get into it. I'm getting tired of this stuff. I really am. I'm not going to go scorched earth. I have promised people on Twitter I would know. Whoa, this just happened. Now it's not merchandise. However, I feel like they're gonna okay, the NLL is hysterical. I feel like they are going to edit this tweet because like there's no graphic or anything, but it's funny because they know the show starts at 10 a.m. They said the NLL is partnered with ALT Sports Data, officially entering the regulated sports wagering space and will enable legal league-approved sports betting markets across all NLL games. I don't know what that means. Good for them. I feel like Cool Bets, like you sit there smoking a cigar, like, okay, anyways. Oh, I don't know what that does. I'm sure someone will chime in eventually, but anyways, I'm talking about merchandise. Okay? So, I found it interesting that yesterday the Oshawa Firewolves, their fans have no merchandise yet. Can you imagine saying, everybody come to the first game and they're all wearing hockey jerseys? Unbelievable. Or Albany, that would be sick. Like, I'm not kidding. I would love that. Anyways, Oshawa teased something is coming. They said that yesterday. And the 4 pictures they showed, 2 of them were very clearly merchandise things. One of them actually was a Dyson Williams jersey, and one of them was some Firewolves lacrosse shirt. Now, I plead and beg that to be available online. Chances are it might be in the league in the team store on site, which is what Brett Fruit calls the brick and mortar. Okay. Speaking of brick and mortar, Brett Fruit, our Lord and Commissioner. I'm sorry. I should not crack me up as much as it did. Our Savior, Brett Fruit, did go on OTCB. I forgot. Oh, it was October 31st. Ooh. And he said, let's just say before the season, that's next Friday, we're going to be announcing some changes and some new iterations of our over-the-top league shop, which is like NLShop.com, I think, which will be a new experience, new custom offerings, and be an additive experience to those team boutiques and the brick and mortar and licensing. Well, Brett Thru, quite frankly, I'm still waiting. It is the 19th. We are 9 days away from the start of your season in your league, sir, where you get paid over $1 million every year to run this dang thing. You gave a lot of credit to Kurt Hunziker. I'd love to know what is going on. Again, I'm not going to go scorched earth yet. That is me yelling for today. But I'm going to start getting mad very soon because Fanatics is still selling your merchandise. In fact, you can go on there and get an old logo Saskatchewan Rush jersey for $28 USD. I'm not kidding. I looked that up like 2 days ago. Okay? That is still available on Fanatics. And you are telling people this was October 31st. It is now 20 days later, Brett. And Brett, I swear to you, if this gets back to you, I'm looking you straight in the camera. Brett, I'm begging you, as a fan, forget media, as a fan, what the heck are you doing, man? I got to know. I am begging as a paying customer to please let me buy some merchandise. I'm trying my best not to get mad. But holy cow, do you make it hard, sir. Whether it's Kurt or any of the folks up top, Brett Thru, I'm asking you as the $1 million+ man to please tell us when we're getting merchandise. Next Friday, your games begin and we still have nothing. I am not going and searching the dark webs for all of these teams' merchandise because half of them suck at it, Brett. Brett, I'm going to say it one more time, and I will not do this. If next Monday or Tuesday comes around and you have no league merchandise on a website, I swear to God, I'm going to scream on air. And if you do have merch, I'll be happy. But even on this humble Wednesday, November 19th, it is not good enough, Brett Thru. So I'm begging you, as a paying customer who wants to see the league succeed, please, for the love of God, step up. Please. We have comments. Robert, this is actually a new commenter. Hello. The only hats you can ever find. Correct. And also, the championship hats are hysterical. Again, I'm not getting mad on this episode, but Brett, I'm telling you, this is unacceptable. There are semi-pro football leagues that have a better merchandise availability than you do. It is unacceptable. It is stupid at what's happening with your league. You are failing if merchandise cannot even happen right now. If we cannot get merchandise, that is a failure. Castor was a failure. Fanatics was a failure. I'll see you next week, though, sir. I swear, if I told me we're all, this is not me. This is not the maddest I get. I'm telling you right now, if this comes around next Tuesday, I'll give them till next Monday. If next Tuesday I come on this show and there is no league merchandise, I'm going to scream on air. Okay? Thank you. Coming up next, a little bit lighter topic. Justin Getty. It's down to Kells, Bouquet, and Khan. We're going to talk about that next on Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere, folks. I know you won't. That's unbelievable. Here we go.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
I'm not sure. Again, the ALT sports betting thing is odd that the NLL posted at 10 a.m. Just a comment on that post really got me going. Rush Nation 44, who does follow the show, says, great news. Now fix the website and sell some proper swag. Yep. Just reading that Sports Delta. I'm going to try to go through this quickly. The National Lacrosse League today announced a landmark partnership, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Through this partnership, ALT Sports Data will collect, manage, and distribute unofficial NL competition. What? Okay, listen, to be fair, again, I respect, I feel like there's more to this than I might know. See? Brett H, I'm going to be hot, I forgot his last name, 843A. Fix the website, yep. But it's like, looking at this Delta sports betting thing, do they realize that FanDuel, Bet365, DraftKings, and CoolBet all have done odds? I don't know what this does. And again, I'm not trying to harp on it because I literally don't know. But I've never seen the NFL or NBA or MLB or NHL or any league really say, by the way, guys, like literally NLL announced less than 5 years ago about sports betting. And now I don't know what this, but now we're sharing official data. I don't know what that means. Whatever, we're going to talk about Las Vegas. Let's do Las Vegas. That makes no sense to me. Like, what are they flexing there? I mean, we got that before merchandise. Although, if we get merchandise before Grand Theft Auto 6, I'll be happy. All right, let's do Las Vegas now. Justin Getty, 24-year-old former second-round pick, now was on the Desert Dogs as of yesterday morning, was released. He had a 74.8 save percentage in 341 minutes last year for Las Vegas. Apparently, scrimmages have not done him well. And now the competition is down to Landon Kells, Alex Bouquet, and Caleb Kahn, the 18-year-old. Now, obviously, and we're going to get into the goalie competition soon here. Obviously, the reason I bring up Jack Hanna for a good reason. Don't worry. I'm not just trying to get Jack Hanna out of Henderson. I want him to play with the Desert Dogs, but I don't know what's going on there. But let's say Jack Hanna does get traded. Is there a way you can get back a good goalie? And here's why I say that, because it has to be more than two teams. Like, you cannot give him to Colorado and get Nathan Whittam. God love him. You cannot get back Whittam in return for Jack Hanna. Obviously, there'll be a bunch more. People talk about, you'll get better defenders. Guys, better defenders are not going to fix what's in the room right now or in the stable, as Frick calls it. Because quite frankly, what did Landon Kells do just last year, a 24-year-old as well? Landon Kells, 73.6 save percentage, 735 minutes. That's not good at all. That's worse than Justin Getty. Now, there's another guy, Alex Bouquet. People call him Alexis. I don't know why. I feel like he goes by Alex now. I could be wrong, but anyways, that's just OCD kills me on that. Anyways, Alex Bouquet, the last time he played goalie in the NLL, had 76.6 save percentage. Not great. Better than the previous two, by the way, in 795 minutes. He's 33 now, by the way. Now, there's a good thing and a bad thing here about Bouquet, because he's only gone below that 75%, which, by the way, is terrible, once. And that was with the Riptide in 2020. But he's never gone above 78% in the entire season. And 2015 Colorado, he played 250 minutes. That's not going to cut it. That's not a full season. So, that being said, Alex Bouquet, I've heard rumblings, he has been the best goalie so far. But I'm going to be honest with people. And this is only on the arguments and debates of if Las Vegas does not trade for a goalie. Go with the kid, Caleb Kahn. I'm saying it now. I have no idea if Caleb Kahn is the answer. I do know there is a chance he is the answer. This screams of an NFL team that has a good roster, but has a young quarterback that you have to pull the trigger on. Okay? I know that people are like, oh, you can't let the kid take shots. I don't care. Let him get blasted year one. Like, if he's that guy, I'm going to be honest, if you were a professional athlete and you get lit up in year one, I don't feel sorry for you if you are the answer moving forward. It's not going to help the fans out, but thankfully fans do not make the decisions. So again, I say Caleb Kahn feeling like if they don't trade, this is on the, let's say they keep Jack Hanna, or let's say even if they trade Jack and don't get a goalie back, which would be criminal, but let's say somehow, some way, they don't have any extra goalies. I'm going Caleb Kahn and roll with him, and unless he's absolutely awful, Alex Bouquet's the backup, and try your best to get some compensation for Landon Kells. That's where I'm at right now. Again, Justin Getty is gone. Landon Kells was worse than Getty last year. Bouquet is a veteran, but if Las Vegas wants to win anything this year, again, I have them as my number 8 seed. I think they make the playoffs, and I don't even know who their goalie is. And that's like probably presumptuous on my part. Their roster's good enough, and they have enough people bought in. Just roll with Caleb Kahn. That's my thinking right now. Again, I understand the argument of, oh, he's a rookie. You need to let him develop. Bro, bump all that, okay? Can you imagine? And I know I'm not saying the Rush planned this because I know they didn't. Remember when Thomas Kajak last year, remember when he came in those 2 games when Chiliano was out, and somehow the Rush and the NLL debated with the rule, however that worked? Remember that? Kajak, the first quarter was awful. And then he literally shut down the next 7 quarters, okay? You're going to have some growing pains. But it would be, in my opinion, not very smart to roll with Bouquet to start. Because you know if you start Bouquet, you know that eventually Caleb Kahn's going to have to come in. You know if you go with Landon Kells, you're going to have to play musical goalies between him and Bouquet, which leads you back to Caleb Kahn. If you start with Caleb Kahn, the only way you go back to the other guy or guys is if he sucks. And I don't think he does. He might not be great, but there's no way this guy is that bad. And if he is, well, I don't know what to do with Vegas at this point. But guys, goalie has bit them in the tail for years. Since they joined this league, Vegas has had no goalie. Again, respect to Kells, respect to Getty, respect to Bouquet, who actually loved him the Rush in 2022 or whenever he was there. Respect to Joel Watson. They have not had their guy. Roll with Caleb. Roll with Caleb Kahn. Roll with him. And again, ride him till the wheels fall off. If he's terrible, I think you'll know. But something tells me he'll be okay. And again, if he's that bad, Alex Bouquet is a serviceable backup. But you cannot go in here with the roster and hype that you have and say to your fans, we're going with Bouquet. That's not going to cut it, man. And again, I root for Alex Bouquet. I love his personality, especially from a media perspective. I think he seems to lock in and do what he has to do. But he ain't the modern athletic goalie. Like, I believe Caleb Kahn has to start if you're going to be competitive. Again, Bouquet is nice, but I don't see how you start Bouquet. I don't care if he's outperforming Kahn, because again, you go with Bouquet or Kells, you know deep down Kahn might be there by the end of the year. And that's something you don't want to have to deal with, because that means your season went to hell. Honestly. I keep bringing up Halifax. You want Warren Hill to start. Because if Hutchinson has to come in, then your season, you're not having as dominant of a season as you like. And I think Vegas is good enough. Again, I don't mind Bouquet, but swing with Caleb Kahn, man. Let him have it. Let's go. This is also why I'm not a GM or a coach. It's fine. All right. When we come back, I am revealing my 7th and 6th ranked NLL teams. And if I'm being honest, one of them I'm not confident in, at least right now, but we'll see. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. The comment section is free to use, by the way. I'm dumb. We'll be right back, folks.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
I mean, did freaking I bring too much heat on Monday for Tuesday's episode? Listen, Dawson, God bless you, man. But no. It is funny though that after that episode, I did have to take a day off. I was really hoping I would go the full season without a day off. But let me tell you, when something is coming out of your mouth, it's hard to deal with, man. I'll admit. The stomach was not happy, and I don't know what it was. But it also reminds me to not take my parents to Longhorn again. God, the goalie drops an eyeball emoji. Nice. Okay. It's time to get into my 7th and 6th ranked teams for this upcoming NLL season. And I am excited for this. Again, I missed yesterday. So let's do it now. The Toronto Rock. That's right, Jamie Dowick. You're welcome, sir. So Toronto Rock, I've got finishing 8-10 this season. I do like the fact that Nick Rhodes is back. I know Latrell Harris is an animal. I don't know. I mean, Owen Hiltz was the 2nd pick in the draft. And I know him and CJ Kurtz made it to the same team. But oh boy, if the Rock only had the number 1 pick and someone else picked up Hiltz number 2, I do wonder if like people be like, oh my God, what's going on with this stuff? But yeah, I think that the Rock are going to have some nice rookies, obviously with Hiltz and CJ Kurtz. Mark Matthews is going to be such a facilitator. If there's an over/under on his assist, take the over on the dimes and cash it out later. Thank me for that too at the end of the season. Something about this team though. I do wonder if we're like if this is a bridge year. Like they're going to be competitive, but I don't know. I don't view them as my top teams. Obviously, making the playoffs, anything could happen, but your date at number 7 seed gets a date in single elimination games with the 2 seed. And I don't know if that's where you want to be. I don't think the Rock have proven over the last at least 4 years that I've done this show, the Rock have not proven that we can trust them against a Buffalo or somebody else up top. So I think Toronto, once again, falls short, even though they make the playoffs. I kind of just gave away, I guess I kind of just told you guys, I don't think the Rock can make it past round 1. Well, there you go. But again, I mean, and I like the fact that Josh Dowd, I do like the fact that Jamie Dowd Jr. is awesome. I think that's cool. I know sometimes people like to throw out nepotism, but if the guy is good, let it rip, man. But again, we'll see how things work. They've got some talent, but I don't know how good they will actually be. We'll see. All right, now that was yesterday's show, so we're now going back to present day. First, I want to let you know, what time is it, guys? Next Friday, you will find out. I mean, field lacrosse is very different, but I do like the fact that Hiltz and Kurse were good, because I mean, I'm sure they're still playing pros in the PLL. I don't know how much I don't know how much weight I put in to that this season. There it is. Georgia Swarm are my 6th ranked team, finishing with a 99 record. And I teased you guys before this commercial break. I was like, one of these teams I'm not confident in. It's this one. Jeremy Thompson is now with the Rochester Nighthawks. And while I will not quote what Kai the goalie tweeted out, I do agree Jeremy Thompson had not been very good at faceoffs recently. And I don't care how good he has been all time. If you want to win, you got to let him go at some point. I don't kind of like an old yeller. Well, I don't want to do it, but you have to. And I'm not comparing this to shoot him, but that's how we feel. You've had him for a while. It's time to let it go. I'm going to catch heat for that one, I'm sure. I'm banking on Brett Dobson having a good season. This is all this is, honest to God. Steven Stamp did sway me a bit with talking about the young players and the Stags and the Steeds in the stable. So I don't mind. I think there might be some growing pains, but I think Georgia, Brett Dobson has got to step up at some point, and not just in PLL, and not just be good enough in the NLL. I feel like one of these days he's going to have a great year. It might be this year, and we'll have to see. But again, Lyle Thompson will probably still be there at least this season. The unboxed game is interesting. I don't like that at all. I don't like the fact that we're going to Edmonton, because I'm not, and I don't think any Swarm fans are, and I'm not kidding about that. And no, family does not count. Yeah, we'll see. Lots of comments. My Lord. Dawson Nielsen says, I have to argue with this one. I think Hills was number 2. I could be wrong. The boy, yeah, okay. We're not talking loose mesh, pal. Anyways. Yeah, so I don't know why we're not going to tease loose mesh if you haven't even released the episode. Come on, we ain't doing that. And the easy schedule, I do like that. Kyle the goalie said addition by subtraction. I think referring to Jeremy Thompson maybe. There's a lot of homers for Toronto, man. Yeah, agreed. There's a lot of pressure on Lyle Thompson and Brett Dobson. That again, most of this, I'm gonna be honest, most of my pressure is not on Lyle. I know Lyle is going to get his 100 points. I understand that. I also think Brett Dobson has to be the reason you play well. I'm making on that. Come on. Oh, I mean, it's easy to kick them when they're gone, Kai. Come on, man. Don't do that. Hey, fun show. Again, next Friday, we're going to find out what time it is. Ooh. And again, next Tuesday, again, the deadline for me on the NLL merch is going to be next Tuesday. If by Monday or Tuesday show, they have not announced it, next Tuesday, I'm going scorched earth. I haven't heard anything extra. I feel like Lyle's fine. But again, a story from another show. We've got to move on. All right, folks. That's it for me. I'm back. Tomorrow there is a guest. He will be pre-recorded today, so we will not be live. But he's an Emmy-winning producer, I will say that. But tomorrow we will have a guest segment aired again. I will pre-record with him today and air that tomorrow, and you'll see who that is. Again, no live stuff, but it's NLL betting based if you want to hear that. All right, folks, y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay humble. This has been Daily Dive. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Come on, allergies. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe before you leave today's NLL discussion. On today's awesome show, what do we got? Have The Rock been reborn? And I'll admit, I might have fallen for some preseason. It happens to the best of us, and I'm kind of second guessing things right now. I'll get into that. I will air a pre-recorded segment that me and myself and Hutton Jackson talked about yesterday. We got into the alt sports data and what it means for betting in the NLL in general. And don't worry, it's not just for gambling fans, but the rest of what he talked about was for gambling fans. We got into the NLL futures and my 5th ranked team. Wow. Before we get started, I want to let you know this show is presented by the event tickets tab at the Natter website. Head to natalkradio.com today and click the event tickets tab. And when you get to that website, guess what? You type in your favorites or local National Lacrosse League team, and you can get your tickets for less. Thank you so much. I don't know why you're saying this already, sir. We have no idea. There has been nothing down the pipeline yet, so I'm not going to react. Like I said, next Tuesday, I'll go scorched earth. For now, we're going to be fine. All right, so let's do this. Toronto Rock. Now, if this is not some big unveil, you guys already saw this. What was it? It was yesterday. I think it was yesterday because I missed Tuesday, whatever. So yesterday, I unveiled the Toronto Rock as my 7th ranked NLL team. Okay, I gave them an 8-10 record. I felt good, and I'll be honest. While it's not on YouTube, and I don't like NLL Plus, I was on NLL Plus last night, and I was watching the 2 Toronto Rock games. It is very unfortunate, and I don't want to take shots at the NLL, even though I don't mind. I'm going to take shots at NLL Plus because I find it very, very, very bizarre that for some odd reason, Toronto Rock can get all their games broadcasted, but we've had just one game without the Rock. To me, it's stupid, and it looks like very favoritism-y or esque. I don't know how to say that. I find it very stupid and quite unprofessional and just weird. The NLL says, oh yeah, it's fine. We'll just put most Toronto Rock games and most teams can shove it. Like, what are we doing? Like, hey guys, we're selling sponsors here. I just find it very stupid that Bradford and Kurt Hunziker and all their absolute brilliance think that's the idea. Like, you guys can't pay any other broadcasters or cameramen? Because first of all, the cameraman for game 2 sucked. He absolutely sucked. And I don't have a problem saying that because I can call a spade a spade. When you're in the business of professional sports, if you suck, okay? But yeah, that's not the reason I want to talk about this, but I thought it was very bizarre. I think what the NLL does with the NLL Plus, hey guys, preseason action, but almost all of them are Toronto Rock games, is really freaking stupid. And again, if we want any, I think it's also laughable the NLL can call itself the next major league, knowing how stupid they act sometimes. Again, and no one's going to talk about this because I'm the only one who doesn't care about what people think. Guys, and again, this is a Toronto Rock thing, but I'll take this off the screen. I find it stupid the NLL thinks it's a bright idea to shove down people's throat Toronto Rock games. I don't care where the games are playing. You guys are so cheap you can't afford another broadcast team. Because didn't Jake Elliott do the game by himself? It's just so weird. It's such a weird look. Like, isn't Joe Tsai funding 3 of your teams? But yeah, give Jamie Dowd. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna go back to Toronto Rock now. I just had to get that off my chest. That was really bugging me. So anyways, because I'm being forced to watch the Rock games and like one Warriors game where Del Bianco got destroyed, I want to say this. Remember when at the draft when they had those top 3 picks, and I still think that while Owen Hiltz and CJ Kirst have looked really good so far, I don't know how this is going to pay off long term. I think they should have traded some of the picks. So I think you could have gotten more assets. Regardless of that, it looks good right now. And they call it a reload. And I'll be honest, I'm calling it Rock Reborn. I'm doing it. I'm calling it Rock Reborn. I actually feel dumb about this. Again, if you're just joining the show, I'm sorry, because this has already been unveiled to you. But the Toronto Rock, and again, the 2 games I was force-fed to watch, I just find it very awesome how they looked. Now, I think Nick Rose is going to be the key once again, which is so weird. When you have a team with CJ Kirst, Owen Iltz, Latrell Harris, Mark Matthews, who's back and looks very spry. You've got Billy Ho-Strauser, Brad Cree, every last player you could ever want. Oh, Josh Dowick, who's really good. It's really weird how Nick Rose is, like, because we all know, like, the outside shots might sting him. And I know he's going to post an 80 save percentage, but is Nick Rose going to be able to beat the Bandits in the playoffs? Folks, I don't like saying this. And people, the first thing they're going to do is say, well, there goes that clickbaiting guy. You know what? Forget you then. Because here's what I'm going to tell you now. Do not be surprised. And I have not made my official prediction, so I can still hold my ammo back here. Do not be surprised if the Toronto Rock are in the finals. Again, I fell for it. And I cannot stress to you enough again how dumb it is. The NLL, of their 5 preseason games, 3 or 4 of them will include the Rock. I think that looks dumb and silly and unprofessional. It's like, look at our awesome website. You got to sign up. Please do it. And we're getting 1 team. It's like, this is so dumb. But that 1 team, if Nick Rose is great in the playoffs, which we know or we think he is capable of doing on a deep stretch, I think the Toronto Rock can make the finals. Again, I told you guys yesterday, they finished 8-10. And for the sake of being right and me unveiling that, I'll stick with 8-10. But I'll be honest, I had them losing in the first round. That is a full transparency for me. I'm now going to heavily reconsider that in my mind. I don't think it can be stressed enough how great this offense looks. Mark Matthews, who again, Brian Shanahan, and he's correct, has said that Mark Matthews looks super healthy. The shoulder looks great. He's bodying people. Latrell Harris looks like a gazelle. He's like just an athletic freak out there again. Looks not hurt at all. Josh Dowick literally just scored 40 goals last year. Chris Bushi did. They have so many guys. But when you add the elements of Mark Matthews setting disgusting screens for CJ Kirst or Owen Hiltz pick one, oh my heavens. I fell victim to the preseason, and again, I will say it now. I think the Toronto Rock might make the finals. I don't like I don't care. Clicks are cool. I mean we all know that, but I pride myself more on being right in sports. I don't know why. It's something I've always like. I grew up watching, debate shows with like Skip and Stephen A. and Skip and Shane, all that stuff. I want to be right, and if I'm wrong, then I'll do that too. But man, I want to be right, and I don't think it's fun to piss off Buffalo fans. I think they're some of the most wild people once you tell them their team is not good enough. Guys, I think Toronto Rock are going to be right there. And I did not think that 12 hours ago. But when you're looking, like, how can you watch that and not think, wow, these guys are going to be good? We'll have to see, though. Thankfully, I can take a vocal break because when we come back, there is an interview I had with Hutton Jackson. We recorded yesterday around the 5 o'clock Eastern mark. And we talked about alt sports data and what that means for gambling in the NLL and what it means for NLL fans in general. We also got into the futures of the NLL and some teams that he likes and dislikes this upcoming season. Stay tuned for that interview. It's pre-recorded. And then on the other side of that, I will unveil my 5th ranked regular season team. It's going to be fun. So we'll be right back. Take a commercial break. On the other side, Hutton Jackson interview is being aired. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
And welcome to this pre-recorded guest segment of Daily Dive. This, of course, airing on Thursday the 20th, being recorded on Wednesday the 19th at about 4:50 p.m. and change. I am joined by Hutton Jackson. Hutton, don't you think I didn't get this for you? I even show him this off air, by the way. Here's your resume. We get NLL Better, which I'm sure works. Emmy-winning producer, straight from the bio. Founder of Pro Lacrosse Talk and Bet on Lacrosse. I don't know why I didn't capitalize talk. Works at Yahoo Sports now. Hutton, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, thank you for the the resume. The funny story about the Emmy, because before everyone hits me up about that. That was for a show I did, MLB Tonight, when I was at MLB Network. I worked on the show 8 times during that time. So as long as you work on it once, you get an Emmy. So I leave well out, but yeah, certain places, I guess. But
that's almost well, I guess they were cool, but that's almost disappointing in a way.
Yeah, I mean, happy to have it, in my bio, but you
contributed.
I worked more on NHL Network that season than I did MLB, but it's good times still.
The more and more I learn about you, the more and more I realize that this guy has done a lot in the sports industry. And real quick before we do get into the NLL talk, what are you doing now with the Yahoo stuff?
Yeah, so I'm a producer at Yahoo Sports. Been helping out a lot with our new daily show, Yahoo Sports Daily. that airs on our YouTube channel from 9 to 11 every morning. It also airs on Yahoo Sports Network, which you can get as a fast channel on Fire TV, Roku, pretty much any fast channel. And then you can also go to, I think it's yahoosports.tv if you want to just watch on your browser as well. So helping out with that show, doing a little producing, mostly also clipping videos for our website. So clipping a lot of the best moments of that show.
Grind. That's a grind.
App. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Daily shows suck, but clipping clips afterwards is even worse. All right, sir. Let's
do it during the show. So I do it as the show's going. So I get to wrap up. I don't mind it. It's been great.
No. All right, so let's get into this. Before we do the NLL futures of teams that you like or dislike. There was something at 10 a.m. Okay, of course, on today, which is Wednesday. Right as my show started, that was brutal. They didn't do what they were doing. Anyways, NLL announced a partnership with Alt Sports Data, ALT Sports Data. Basically a bunch of fluff saying that helping with the gambling, I believe. And while I will, full disclosure, say I do not know much about that, you may provide something, even if you don't know. You probably know more than other people. You've heard of Alt Sports Data, as far as I know. What do you think this could possibly do for the NLL sports betting landscape?
Yeah, so I think at face value, it's great to see the league embracing sports betting for a variety of reasons that I'll get into. But they've had this isn't the first time they've kind of dipped their toe, and they had the BetMGM partnership a few years ago. I think I don't know which side kind of didn't give enough in that partnership. I don't think it was a huge success, just because I feel like there's times BetMGM still wasn't offering odds. I remember, even though they were technically the official partner. But it was still a good first step. And then they had a partnership, I think, with Sports Logic, which was kind of in the data realm, similar to this. But this is this is kind of like a combo of those two partnerships, because it's a data partnership, but it's designed around sports betting to pretty much they want to make sure they're working with operators to provide sports books with what they need to offer odds in the NLL. Now we've been fortunate that we have 6 books already offering odds in the NLL in the US. We have Canada that does great work. I wish I had access to that. Unfortunately, it's only in Canada, but they have props, win totals, pretty much everything. So it's not really going to, if you're in Canada in particular, you're probably not going to get anything that you don't already have at CoolBet.
Right.
And even in the States, they mentioned live betting. And I'm assuming player props are going to be involved with that. We've gotten that with Bet365 in
occasionally.
Occasionally. It hasn't been consistent. So hopefully this is going to be, for sports bettors, meaning that sports books are going to be more confident in offering live betting and player props. Now, I would think we need to pump the tires a little bit, just because I don't know if we're going to see it, happen overnight. It might take some time.
I'm thinking it might happen next year myself.
Next year, yes. So I want to temper everyone's expectations, which isn't a bad thing. That means they just need to gather data and stuff. So, but the fact that we've seen FanDuel offer it at one point, Bet365 offer it at one point, there's still a possibility that it happens this season. I just don't know if it's going to be as a result of this partnership. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope, we get live betting week 1. I hope that we get, tons of player props on different sports books and consistency too. So that way it's every week, you can know to expect it. But that's what I think the takeaway is there. But the other thing too that I want this is kind of whether you like sports betting or not, whether you're a sports bettor like me, or whether you really don't like that sports betting has kind of infiltrated sports at every corner.
Cough NBA, yes.
Yeah, it has. This is actually a good partnership. And I think what a lot of people might miss in the scandals, not to get a whole, overarching sports scandal thing, but we've seen a ton of sports betting scandals. And that doesn't mean that a league that's small like the NLL couldn't be privy to one of those scandals too. So by working with a data collector like this, and kind of, this is a good bridge to relationships with the sports books, they're going to be able to monitor that type of stuff as well to make sure that the integrity of the NLL is still intact despite sports betting. So that's what I think one way to look at it. Everyone always thinks like, NFL's in bed with DraftKings. Like this is part of the problem. Well, no, because that's how they catch those things. That's how they caught Calvin Ridley, a few years ago, just betting, he wasn't betting on games. That's how the, NBA has caught things. They caught the Terry Rozier thing, a long time ago, but they had to still do their investigation. UFC just had a scandal. And literally FanDuel flagged that, and that they were aware that a fix was maybe in on UFC. Now, it doesn't help when any of these scandals happen, because it puts again the integrity of the sport.
It turns people off. Yeah,
it does. So, but again, back to scandals have been happening for a long time. You can go back to the infamous Black Sox that threw the World Series. Like even with sports betting when it wasn't legal, it's been happening. So I think this is good sign that the league recognizes, hey, there's already sports betting on the NLL that's been going on for 3 or 4 years. Let's make sure that we are doing our due diligence and working with both organizations like Alt Sports Data, and then extending relationships with the sports books to make sure that we can maintain the integrity and we can monitor these things and make sure that people can have confidence that what they're betting isn't going to be rigged or anything.
And yeah, correct. There's going to be a handful of fans on social media that, like you said, I've already seen some of the NLL comments. Oh, I know I couldn't trust you guys, but you're right. It does provide a level of accountability, because I've said it, and we're getting into it. The rosters sometimes are kind of lopsided, especially as we move closer towards a balanced, salary cap. We're not there quite yet, and I think that it matters to have an entity like Alt Sports. I like that you said that.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, for people that are like, oh, why is the NLL partnering with a sports betting company? It's like, well, sports books have already been offering it for 6 or 7 books, so it's already happening anyway. The NLL is just being wise and saying, hey, we know this is already happening. Let's make sure that we're involved with it, so that way make sure everything is kosher. And then you see too, like the MLB has worked with sports books to kind of limit the pitching props and to a certain amount, and then you have the NBA working with sports. So it's again you have to have that open dialogue, because it's going to happen no matter what. I'm sure there might have even been betting on the NLL before these U.S. sports books, legal books got involved. So, they were on offshore. So again, it's I think important that the NLL recognizes that it's a thing and they're embracing it as a way to, again, attract new fans is always a way that I think it can really attract people. I know a lot of people that didn't follow the NLL and they started betting on it a little bit. Now they're hooked. So it's just another avenue for people to get involved in the sport.
And I will not run the MyBookie ticker right now. That is, we are not have a promo code with them. Well, the ticker I will run now as we get into our stuff now is you had a tweet, and I had to adjust the Desert Dogs thing because your tweets, we always know, are just incredible with these sports books. Basically, it's the longest odds according to the U.S. sports books. And the only one I saw that really changed was Desert Dogs went from plus 4,500 to plus 4,000. Still long, which we'll get into them. In fact, you want to do them first, Las Vegas?
Yeah. Let's talk Las Vegas a little bit, because I just think they're my favorite long shot on the board. I mean, I think the odds on it was plus 4,500 on Caesars, so 45 to 1, and then it went down to I believe it might be 35 to 1 now. But I love those odds for a team that they've shown they're committed to going all in. I mean, they went and got Chase Fraser, they got Chris Cloutier, Mitch Jones. I think is the stir that's going to I think the straw that's going to stir that drink in Las Vegas, because he can score, but he can also facilitate, and he's going to be for lack of a better comparison, he's going to be the Dane Smith to Chris Cloutier and Chase Fraser now, obviously on the left side, but he's going to be that guy in Las Vegas. And then they still have Jack Hanna. I know you've reported on potential trade stuff with him, but for right now, we know that he's going to still be there. My pick for Rookie of the Year last year,
Patra.
Patra.
Love that guy.
Adam Patra is still there. I think a sneaky signing by them too is Tony Malcolm.
I was going to mention him. Yep.
Tony Malcolm, and that'll just help their transition and their defense, because that's been their issue, right? Their offense has been decent, and being able to put up points in different doses, but the defense has kind of been strong, and that's the big question mark, with goaltender. But we've seen Alex Buque step in and play well, so they just need the goaltenders, whether it's him or Landon Kells or even their rookie
Caleb Kahn,
Caleb Kahn, to really just play well enough that they can win some of these games, in shootouts. I still think they're going to have to put up 12, 13 points a night at least to win some of these games. But, I think the odds are just way too long for a team. And that's just because, they were the worst team last year. They've been the worst team for the past 3 years. And,
and they've never figured out the goaltending, Kurt.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, you've reported on that too. It seems like they might be interested in trading for a goalie. So who knows if that happens at the deadline. I mean, last year, who would have thought Nick Rose was going to Calgary last year? So you know what? That's another thing that could happen too, is you could see a goaltender get traded. to Las Vegas if they feel like they're good enough and they have the pieces to move them. So so that's why I really like that team at those odds. Do I think they're going to go and win the NLL championship this coming 2026? No, but their odds should be better. I think they're a playoff team the way they're constructed right now, and those odds are going to drop drastically as they get started this season. So now's the time to buy in on them.
Yeah, Chrome to your dome. No, they're not going to win the championship, but
good.
Like,
there's a chance. You're telling me
like, I'll put it this way for you. Like if Nick Rose, like to Calgary, I don't think that moved it moved my needle too much. If a guy like Nick Rose does go to a team like this year's Las Vegas, I think that definitely moves my needle this year.
Yeah, I agree, and I
like this team way better.
For me, last year with Calgary, I really thought, they credit to Halifax for beating them in that first round, but I thought Calgary could have really, made a run last year just because of the goaltending with Nick Rose. I think he was sneakily really, really good for them last year. Yeah. And so, that's where there's so few, I don't say there's so few goaltenders, but the top goaltenders there's a big range, and the tops are at the top of their game. And so these teams, they hold on to those guys. It's rare for one of those to come available. We saw it happen last year. Maybe we'll see it again this year, but for right now, they shouldn't be 45-1. I think if you look at FanDuel has been pretty sharp, I think, with their odds. They're probably around 15-1, and that's probably where I would put them. I
like that.
Odds wise, not 45-1 or 40-1, which you can still get at DraftKings.
So put yourself a medium fry on Vegas. Got it. All right. Yeah, let's stay West Coast. Let's do Vancouver. I have not made my full prediction for my number one or champion, whatever it was. But I've said on record, Vancouver's roster is silly. When you can keep Claridge, who's amazing, is a budding star, keep Keegan Ball, keep Del Bianco, who's now sticking around, add his buddy Shane Simpson, add all the guys like Curtis Dixon, all them guys. Oh, and Payne Cormier, he used to be really good in college, is still there. It's ridiculous. How are you feeling about Vancouver right now, man?
I mean, it's hard to not look at them as, if they're not the favorites with Buffalo, they're right there, I really think and that's where looking at the odds is they should be much closer to Buffalo. I think you still got to give Buffalo the respect as they're the best team still in the league. I know
Daddy's back.
Frazier and Chris Cloutier is being. I just talked about how that's going to impact Las Vegas, but they fill those voids pretty seamlessly. They bring in Ryan Benesh, into that offense. Obviously he's up there in age, but I don't think they're going to miss Cloutier and Frazier a whole much. You still have Dane Smith and you still have Josh Byrne. You're always still going to be competitive. And you still got Matt Nance. That was another piece that was keep your eye on, was he going to retire? Was he not? The fact that he's back, he still played at an elite level. He's had some games the past couple seasons where, he's laid an egg, but he always bounces right back. And it's his version of laying an egg is an average goalie's
77% this guy.
So it's they're still the top team in my mind, but the odds reflect that. I don't think the odds, at plus 900 reflect that for Vancouver. Because again, these sports books are setting their odds and then they're just kind of, not really looking at them. FanDuel's one that is going to move pretty quickly. ESPN Bet, which is soon going to be the score, they do move, pretty quickly in reaction to news and stuff. But some of these are just, they set it and forget it a little bit. So you can find some value. But plus 900, I like them. I think they're as low as plus 700. I still probably like them at that. I just think it's them and Buffalo are the top two teams. And I think then there's not a huge gap, but a gap between those teams. Even, between them and Saskatchewan. I think Saskatchewan's going to be good again, but I just think it's Buffalo and Vancouver and then everybody else. They're a team that I want to get in, and, you could talk me into getting in on Buffalo too. I put a little bit on Buffalo as well. Sure. Not a ton because I do think their odds could get longer, whereas Vancouver's one, I just don't know if you're going to get longer than plus 900 odds if they get off to a hot start, which I expect them to.
Correct. Even if Del Bianco's getting a whole shot at him in preseason, we'll be fine. I was just having fun with that one.
Well, that's another thing too, is I think with the preseason is just take that with a grain of salt. Guys aren't
correct
and stuff. It's good to watch them and it's good to, gather intel as a better on that. But again, these results they don't necessarily mean anything. So it's good to get yourself up to speed on the current makeup of these rosters, but the results are not very relevant.
And for the record, NLL Plus in all its glory and godship does actually have one of the Vancouver games like as a replay. So
Mhm.
that is nice if you are going to look at them. I prefer actually just look at offensive players, how they look. Goalies are not going to really go all out, in my opinion. But I think offensive players like a Claret or Cormier would be great to look at, in my opinion.
Yep.
Let's go east. We got two teams out there to talk about. First one, I want to do Oshawa, and you're kind of, I believe, going to say what I want, but let's just say Alex Simmons and Ty Kurtz are alive and breathing and fine. Doug Jamieson is probably one of the best underrated goalies in the league, which doesn't even make sense. Tell me about Oshawa. Do you like or not like them this year?
Yeah, I mean, this team was in the NLL Finals 2 years ago, and the roster hasn't changed that drastically. I think you got to look at last season, and I think I wrote this in my article. It's like you could look at last season and say they lost so many of these close games. They couldn't finish in the fourth quarter, blah, all this stuff. Like they took a step back. I look at it as like they had a tougher schedule because they made it to the NLL Finals. Like, the schedules get tougher if you are one of the top teams with, playing opponents twice. I think you play 5 opponents twice in game schedule. So like you're going to play some of the top teams if you were one of the better teams last year. So now that they, didn't make the playoffs, they should have a slightly easier schedule, and then you never know what happens like with injuries and stuff like, last year. But this team was decimated by injuries last year. Their defense, like at one point they didn't have Watkinson. They didn't have Nisha Mura. They didn't have
Tchaikovsky or all of them.
John Rannigan. I'm not John Rannigan. I'm sorry, John Wagner.
Right.
Yeah, so they didn't have John Wagner, who I think was their best defender going into the season last year. So you get those guys healthy. You didn't have them. I don't know if they all played at the same time more than 1 or 2 games. They were all kind of in and out of alignment. And at one point, you didn't have all 3 of them. You bring in Kyle Rubish. Again, like he's 37 years old, so you're getting an older version of Kyle Rubish, but he still proved that he was a solid defender with the Seals last year. And he brings a veteran presence to a young team. But like, again, like they're young, but they have that championship. They've already been there. They've already been in the NL Finals. They have one of the best coaches in Glenn Clark. And like you said, Doug Jamieson is going to win you games maybe that you shouldn't. So I just like everything about this team. They're fast in transition. Again, you can look at the like, close losses last year. I look at it, it's like, they were in 9 games that ended where they either lost or they were like two or 1 score games essentially. And they won 5 of those and they lost 4, I believe, or maybe they won 4.
Wow.
So like 1 or 2 of those goes the other way. They're in the playoffs. And I
7-11, yeah.
Run. So, like that's the thing. They were very close to making the playoffs. They're a lot like how Saskatchewan was 2 years ago, is where they just barely missed the playoffs. You could see the pieces were there. Obviously, the Firewolves have already done it 2 years ago, so it's even more reason. But like you could see like, oh, this team is still like way closer to the top than they are to the bottom. Now they have a more favorable schedule. They just got to put it all together, and and you add a guy like Rubish and then keep your core intact. I just like them at 1,600 right now. I just think there's value there. And again, a team that I'm kind of lower on is the Philadelphia Wings. They play the Wings twice in the first 3 games. So 2 of the first 3 games are against the Wings. And if you think the Wings aren't going to be that great, it's a good time to buy in the Firewolves before the season.
I like that because, like you say, if you beat the Wings early, it's like, oh crap, everyone's buying in. You missed on plus 16 to 1. Before we move on to the Wings, just to capitalize on that, I did want to mention that Dyson Williams obviously still exists. Will Johansson was a guy, if defense got any love, he was up there with Potter in terms of like underrated rookies of the year potentially. Just amazing last year for the record.
He was great. And you mentioned Dyson Williams, who ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Like,
correct.
I don't think we saw the best Dyson Williams last year.
No.
He started to come alive towards the end of the season, and that's when I think they must have won, 4 of the last 6.
They rattled off some clutch, yes.
Yeah, they beat the Bandits. Again, the Bandits, I think, were on short rest. I believe that. Again, they beat the Bandits in overtime, and Dyson Williams had that game winner. Not seeing a fully capable Dyson Williams last year, like him at his best, is a scary thought because he played really, really well last year and won NLL Rookie of the Year. So I just think, I think they're going to take another leap. A few of the other teams that are in there, I just feel a lot more confident too. And that we've seen it before with this roster, as opposed to, Ottawa's one that's interesting. I don't know what to expect from them. I think they might be better actually than maybe a lot of people are giving them credit. But I need to see how Dan McRae comes in as coach. They traded for Rob Hellier. How's he going to impact this offense and stuff?
Right.
So, and if Zach Higgins plays level he did last year, they should be better, but you never know. And so I think Oshawa, there's just a lot of proven commodities on that team that, I don't think they're not going to be bad. Like, I just don't think they're going to be bad. Like, I think the floor is what they were last year. And so if they're, close to making the playoffs, like, these are pretty good odds to get at a team at the beginning of the season.
All right. Now, one last team we're going to get to. I'll let you leave it here. Dude, tell me how great Brandon O'Neal's going to be. Tell me Joe Rez is going to score 80 goals. Tell me what I should bet the Wings at plus 2,200. I'm ready.
I'm going to tell you not to. I don't know what this team, like last year, no. I think you saw it pretty early on. Like, that offense was so elite, but the defense was so lacking. And a lot of the issues that plagued them in previous seasons were still there, even with personnel. I was higher on them last year going into the season. Not like I didn't love them as like a potential like championship pick.
No.
I thought they were going to be better based on they got a lot of pieces from a solid Panther City defense.
Yes.
In the expansion draft, they traded some guys. Traded for some guys. I thought Nick Demude was going to be solid, even though you trade away Higgins. I didn't think it was going to be like that much of a drop off from Zach Higgins.
Correct.
And the defense just still had issues. And then they ended up making those two trades, for Corbeil and Desnew. And, maybe they needed more time to kind of like acclimate, but that didn't really do anything either. And they ended up, having that terrible losing streak. Like last year, I was like, it was such a tale of two halves of a season for them. They kept winning despite me not believing them. I'm just like, I can't put them up in my rankings. I can't move them on my rankings. I probably moved them up finally to like 5 or 6 because I was like, okay, their offense is good enough to win games. Still don't believe in them, but like, they deserve to be like top 6, 7 in the power.
Yep.
And then they just start losing, and it's like, yep, there it is. That's the team that I, expected from what I had seen because they had won these close games and, were winning with their offense, but the defense just still didn't look right. And so I just think that regime too, it's just, there hasn't been there was a coaching change, but Paul Day was still the GM. I just don't know, how much is going to change. And then they lose all these key pieces in free agency. I mean, like Mitch Jones is a massive loss. So
Dr. Desnew now wants to get out. It's
yeah, I don't expect, like, I think I read something about Desnew's agent. Like, he's not going to play in Philly. This thing might be drug out, and Philly might be able to recoup some value from him by trading him somewhere. But he's not going to play in Philly. So, yeah, I just don't, I know Corbeil's still there, but I just don't know how much better this Philly team's going to be. At their current odds, it's you could throw on it, but I would rather wait and see how things go to start the season. First, I think Brandon O'Neal's going to be great this season. I'm looking forward to seeing if Michael Sowers can take a next step playing in the box game. But there's just still a lot of question marks for this defense. The offense hasn't been an issue, and the offense might take a step back without Mitch Jones. So that's the other thing that you have to consider.
It's rough because, Reza Terrence, he's really good, but he's not a facilitator. At least wasn't last year.
Yeah, he's still gonna put up points.
Sure.
So I'm glad they kept him, but it's just he can only do so much. It just feels like they lack depth, and that's kind of what you need in this league.
Fair enough. And thank you so much, sir. Go Baltimore Ghost Crabs. I know you're like in the Maryland area. I had to take an unbiased shot.
Yeah, I got the old Baltimore Thunder shirt.
I like that.
So repping the Baltimore when they had a team. I know I tweeted out recently, Ted Leon says should buy a team. He's the owner of the Capitals. So
I did see that was great.
Yeah, I'm a Baltimore sports fan, not a DC sports fan other than the Capitals. So, I will say that DC sports fans aren't the greatest. I think Capitals are very loyal, but maybe not the best market. You really got to get those Cap fans to buy in if it's worth it bringing them a team. Probably better markets, but I can wish.
Correct. Thank you so much, Hayden.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, Click on your bet and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Thank you so much for watching that interview, which of course will be available as a separate segment via the North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel, which again we ask you to subscribe to get other great Daily Dive content and live sports such as Illinois Wesleyan and more. Thanks so much for tuning in today, everybody. On today's show so far, I've talked about I think Toronto Rock might be reborn. They might make the finals. I have released them as my 7th ranked regular season team. I will stick with that for now, even though that could bite me in the butt. I think they make the playoffs at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna reconsider if I think they make the finals. We'll have to see. We talked to Hutton Jackson. He reacted to the Alt Sports Data collaboration with the NLL, talking about how it just helps them keep the integrity and possibly provide more betting opportunities for especially United States-based fans, because we knew that CoolBet, the polar bear, holds the odds up north, and shout out to them, keeping it cool up there. He also talked about how he liked Vancouver. He thinks it should be right there at Buffalo in terms of favorites. He liked Oshawa. He liked Las Vegas. He thinks plus 4,000, I agree, is going to be the lowest you can get them. And finally, didn't like Philadelphia. Boo! I know. But yeah, that was fun. And now it's time to get to my 5th-ranked NLL team. Do you agree or disagree with this? Are you ready, kids? Aye, Captain Rochester! I mean, if you've been paying attention, I have not unveiled them yet, so it was only right that they make it here with a 10-8 record for your boy. Obviously, Connor Fields is amazing. We know this. They have Ryan Smith, and this, of course, is another certified Ryan Smith moment. Yeah. Shout out to Nighthawks Network and JT Flood, who hates me, and I'm Spencer Conley. They also have Brad McCulley, who I guess is healthy? Question mark. They added Jeremy Thompson, kind of like the Woody meme where I don't want to play with you anymore for Georgia. Rochester dives in and takes him, not bad at all. Oh, and don't forget, Ryan Lanchbury actually had more points last year than Ryan Smith. That is wild. Like, looking at the point total last year again, Ryan Smith played all 18 games, right? This dude had only 84 points. I know he had 49 goals to lead the team somehow. But Ryan Lanchbury had 116 points. Literally, no one is still talking about how much of a great season that guy had. Chris Fox, aka CLL, says hopefully they do well on the floor and it translates to success in the stands. Oh, yeah, let's say Seneca Nation, get your advertising out there. Brett says Ryan Smith over 87.5 points. God, I would hope so. I don't see how, again, last season this guy only had 35 assists. I'm looking at the primary assists, only had 24, and Lanchbury had more primary assists than Connor Fields. Woo! It's a lot, dude. But yeah. No, it happened! Oh my! They actually did it! So Brad Coley is hurt. McCauley is hurt. That is big. I kind of been asking around, hadn't heard much. That's a big loss. Guys, he already, remember when we had fun on the show, I think last week, or maybe on Monday, where we talked about how he won a fight against a no-name guy, and he was supposed to provide the intensity. I wonder how badly this guy is hurt, because that's a big deal. So wow. I'm glad Pat did chime that in. That's crazy. I still think they go 10-8. I think the offense is too good. Another key part about Rochester, again, if I'm fair is fair is fair. And I've always harped back on Halifax. I've always talked about Las Vegas. Guys, the goalie matters. And if we're being frank, Rylan Hartley has not been healthy at all. Riley Hutchcraft has been serviceable. And I don't care how nice of a guy certain people are. I'm telling you right now, they need a full season of Rylan Hartley. Because I think 10-8 could actually be better than that, like a 12-6 kind of record. I really do believe that. But guys, their goalie has to work. Brad McCauley's got to get healthy very quickly, in my opinion. But yeah, those are two big pieces. The offense will be fine. They will be very hard to beat just because of that. But like, if they want to get past Buffalo, even in the regular season, if they want to give Buffalo a game or two, Brad McCauley and Rylan Hartley have got to be there. They have to be. So those are big for Rochester. Keep that in mind moving forward as you do make your bets, or if you don't. According to this, the longest odds in the U.S. are plus 11. Honey, that's big. But yeah. All right, tomorrow I will unveil my 4th-ranked team. Also tomorrow, I do want to unveil this. I've got a pretty fun guest returning. I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it. I will not unveil that just yet because I don't want anything to happen. But for the record, we do have a guest coming on tomorrow. I think everybody will be happy that they are back. Oh, and by the way, next Friday, what time is it? What time is it? Find out next Friday when the games begin. Oh, and NLL, please, God forbid, get some merch. Oh my God, I don't want to have to do the thing on Tuesday. I just don't. Pat Gregoire did tear me a new one earlier. Basically that read, because that's a lot on the screen. Teams are responsible for the broadcast of exhibition games. That's fine. So Rock and Warriors are the only ones choosing to broadcast the games. If you caught my earlier rant, I see why Pat said that. I do also think the NLL, I mean, God, but again, I know it's up to the teams, but it's on NLL Plus. It's not on Toronto Plus or Vancouver Plus. So I'm just asking the league, if we're going to do the preseason thing, at least step in and provide one of the games without relying on the other teams. I think that's just kind of weird. I don't know. Again, it can be up to the teams, but like most of these games are in the Northeast, I thought. I know San Diego might have a game out there in the open. I'm tired of it, man. All right. Again, tomorrow we're going to have some more season preview fun with a returning guest. And by the way, next week is game week. That will be fire. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Daily Dive. Shout out to Hutton Jackson. Shout out to all the commenters that chimed in. And shout out to all of you on social media at Daily Dive LAX. And by the way, there is going to be a ticker across the screen. If you have business inquiries or any other questions or concerns, I prefer business inquiries. But if you have any questions or this guy sucks, just send them to dailydive.lax@gmail.com. Give them a great rest of your day. Oh. Kind of McCauley went missing in Vancouver. Healthy scratch. That might just be because Vancouver's really good. I don't know. And just because we're doing this now, I got time. McCauley, just looking up I should know this off top, but I do not. He's only 28, so I mean he should be fine. He also won a championship in 2023 at the Bands. That's crazy. All right, but there you go. I think it's a big loss. Just again, go follow Nighthawks Network on Instagram and find out if they were very happy that he was there. So there you go. Have a great day, everybody. This has been Daily Dive. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye. Hello and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Friday, November 21st, 2025, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. And be sure to subscribe before you leave today's episode. On today's awesome show, the Thunderbirds add Justin Getty. What this can mean for Warren Hill and maybe Drew Hutchison moving forward this season. Our guest is Adam Levy, who is back on the show. It's not necessarily an Adam Levy Fridays, but hey, he's back on. We're excited for that. And of course, my fourth-ranked NLL team. We've only got Buffalo, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, and Oshawa left. So keep that in mind as we move forward. And correct, we are 7 days away from the start of the NLL season, which also reminds me, actually, I'll get to that in just a moment here, but yeah, we're 7 days away. Before we get started, though, this show is presented by the event tickets tab at the Natter website. Head to natalkradio.com and click the event tickets tab. And once you get there, search for your favorites or local National Lacrosse League team. Tickets for less at natalkradio.com. And reminder, folks, just because we are 7 days away from the season, I want to also add this to the stage right now. We are also 7 days away from answering the question, what time is it? I'm just wondering. We're very curious about that. Find out next Friday when the games begin. And Frick said he's here. Welcome in, Frick. All right, our first segment is going to be talking about the Halifax Thunderbirds adding Justin Getty. Now, in case you are new to this show, and many of you may not be, but if you're watching the replay, you might end up tuning in for the first time. I have said multiple times that I believe the Thunderbirds are only as good as their goalie. Everyone, of course, knows that. But my takeaway is for this season, I believe Halifax finishes 7-11 because I am scared of the goalie. But my takeaway is, if they are awesome, it is because Warren Hill started 85 to 90% of the games, if not more. I truly believe that. And yesterday, when the news broke that Justin Getty was added to the Halifax Thunderbirds, it kind of got me thinking about this again. But somebody on Twitter, who's actually a friend of the show and should be on more this season as well, Buffalo Sports Collective does a great job covering the Buffalo Bandits and other teams in the NLL, but mostly Buffalo Sports. They had a very awesome take on the Justin Getty situation that I think summed it up perfectly. It was, you put the pressure on Drew Hutchison and Warren Hill by bringing in Justin Getty, a new goalie in the system that now wants both of your jobs. Now, if it were up to me, and obviously things have to play out, but I'll put it this way, if I were to predict things, I think Warren Hill's the starter. I think Hutchison is the backup. And if Getty, I'm not saying is lucky, but he hopes to stay on the practice squad. Now, the Hutchison and Getty dynamic is interesting. Hutchison's 27, Getty's only 24. But there are a few things, and again, I'm not saying Getty cannot be really good one day, because we know sometimes NLL goalies might take a little bit longer to develop. And that's fine, because he might be great one day. But Justin Getty is already on his fourth team at 24 years old. Hutchison has only been on Halifax. I think that does matter. Now, I know circumstances apply, but I think that makes you wonder if Hutchison is a more consistent steed in the stable. Now, as for Hutchison, I have seen that guy come in, and I've been on record saying he was flat out playing better than Warren Hill. Now, Warren Hill is so good at Six Nations, and I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm saying he is really good at Six Nations, and so he has a pedigree. And then for him to sometimes be benched in Halifax and Hutchison to do better is interesting. But you also could look at it this way. Is that just a backup quarterback getting a spark? If you've been following basketball this year, is that just the Atlanta Hawks for like 10 games playing better without Trae Young, when long term it's not going to be like that. I don't know. But I do love the signing of Justin Getty. I think it provides him a possible valuable role as a backup if he can leapfrog Hutchison. And I do think, like as Buffalo Sports Collective said, it is going to light a fire under both those guys. Warren Hill cannot feel comfortable. I know he loves the game of lacrosse. I'm sure he's confident in himself, but he cannot feel like he's not going to be complacent. And so I love this signing for Halifax more than you know. And again, whether or not they want 3 goalies just because, or whether or not it is to light a fire on the other guys' butts, we'll see. Comments here. MJG says Hutch also has experience outside FNLL. And so I mentioned Warren Hill with Six Nations. I don't follow most of that stuff. I have heard of Six Nations though. And Frank has been on record. He thinks, I'm not putting that down, but he thinks Getty's going to beat Hutchison. I don't know what that's worth. I don't even know it's worth a $20 scramble there. MJG says T-Bird's also local guy. Brown. Yeah, I saw the other guy mention that too. Do they need 4 keepers or is Getty? I'm going to go Getty. Just a wake-up call. We'll see. We'll see. I like it. It's a story. I thought of it again. I will rest on my laurels. If Halifax is that good this year, Warren Hill starts most of the season, if not all of it. And that should be the dream for most Halifax fans. You don't want to go to Hutch and or Getty. You don't want it. It's just like in Las Vegas. You don't want it to happen. Rochester, they would love to have a full, healthy, consistent Rowland Hartley. Mostly healthy. There's a lot of teams out there that can be really awesome if their goalie is a Dylan Ward or a Doug Jameson or a Matt Vince. Obviously not Matt Vince or Del Bianco, but you get a consistent guy who's reliable. We'll see. All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to bring in the kid. Well, the father of the kid, Adam Levy. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's Daily Dive. You're watching it live here on the Natter.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Adam Levy, dancing and back in the business. What's up, sir? How are you?
I'm really good, Mike. How are you? I have to say, I love seeing that Jeff Beck health and wellness. That was really relaxing, preparing me for this guest segment. So really excited to be here. Always happy to join, my friend.
You know, I almost added that commercial last in the block, but I feel like it might make people fall asleep a little bit. So I had to add the MyBookie right in their face afterwards.
Yeah, go for it. Whatever you're doing, it's working. You've had so many guests so far this preseason, which is great to see. You've been looking snazzy most of the episodes. You got your tie, you got your collared shirt on. I love to see it.
You are, just for the record, people, IL Indoor contributor. NL Insider, you have a question mark in the bio. That's hysterical. Borelli winner, which we will never forget, which is the media award in the NLL. Founder of Bite Lines, host of the Lacrosse Matrix, and of course, you are Preston Senior as well, sir. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. And it is nice to see my outside lacrosse life is equally important to me as my lacrosse life. So Preston's father is one of my proudest titles.
It's a great flex, man. I just love saying it. All right, let's get into the kid. Preston's Picks is back. Can you tell us again about? I'm sure a lot of people may know, but we can grow it even more. Tell us what it is and tell us the prizes this year.
Yeah, we have upped the prizes. Before I get into that, Preston's Picks. I was inspired by Lacrosse Classified's Who You Got. Which is a great thing. If you haven't signed up for that, go sign up for that as well on officepooljunkie.com. You can also find Preston's Picks there. This is where my now 4-year-old son, Preston, makes his selections for every single game every week of the National Lacrosse League season. And if you beat him at the end of the season and have the most wins and correct picks by the end of the year, you will win 2 NLL season tickets. But if you're a PLL fan that's playing, I'm not leaving you out either. I am curating a PLL prize pack of some kind, which I am yet to determine what that is exactly. But so want to get that PLL crowd in there involved as well. It's free. It's simple. You're going against a 4-year-old. There's a lot of ego on the line. So if you got the cojones to battle against a young kid, definitely sign up.
Frick has chimed in saying there's just a chance that he wins Preston's Picks this year.
I love it. I'm all for it, and I would say that we need more Frick, whether it's on Loose Mesh, another great podcast that we have, and of course, would love to see him writing, whether that's at the NLL or anywhere. He's got a good voice, he's got good insight, so I would say let's get more Frick.
Love it. We're fricked up, man. All right. For the record, I'm going to recommend a PLL All-Star Weekend kind of thing for 2. I don't know. I feel like there's more you could do. I don't know. That's the first thing that thought into my head, just for the record. All right.
Yeah.
Bite Lines is out. And when you first started this, and please tell us the IG handle again.
It's at the Bite Lines.
Okay. So at the Bite Lines on Instagram, when you first started that, I'm a food guy, obviously. But I was not expecting the NLL collab. Okay, don't spit out the drink now.
That was really good. That was
but I was not expecting the NLL player collab, and then Gillen War. I'm like, this could be big.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. And by the way, it's not showing up. It's not Men in Black. It's a pizza tie.
I absolutely love that. You're playing to the New Yorker in me.
Of
course. And that gives me a chance to shout out John's Pizza on Bleecker Street, best pizza in New York City, arguably the best pizza in the world. You got to go there. My dad, Mike, has been going. In 2026, it will be 50 years that he will have been going to John's Pizza, so special moment for us. But yeah, it's great to see that tie. But yeah, the Bite Lines, it's kind of been more, it started as a food journal. Food and drink are some of my favorite passions and hobbies next to sports and music. I love things that just bring people of all places and cultures and everything together, things that unite us. And so food is that way. And then I was like, well, how can I bring in my lacrosse knowledge and experience into that? So I was like, where do these guys love to eat? Maybe where do they like to drink? We might get into that at some point. Maybe that's more for the retired players. We don't want to be outing the current players. Like, hey, I like to get fucked up at this place. Excuse my language. Fricked up, I should have said. Fricked up.
Correct.
You can bleep it. But yeah, and so I thought that was pretty cool. And we've got some other new ones. Jesse King is now out for the Bite Lines. You can see where he likes to eat in his hometown of Victoria. Big foodie Jesse is, so that was pretty cool. We've got a couple other people. I know Logan Schuss. I got his picks for the Delta area. Keegan Ball, another Vancouver area guy with his good picks. Also a big foodie for him. And that'll keep going. And something that I haven't done yet, but I'm really excited to do. I love a good cocktail. Negroni is always the way to go, in my opinion. But there's so many great drinks out there. I know we had a talk. You had not had a Negroni before. One day, Mike, we will share a Negroni. Well, not a share. You'll have one, and I'll have one. But we'll get you to have Negroni. You'll love it. But I'm thinking of doing this idea where I'm going to create craft cocktails.
Correct.
Create craft cocktails. I won't associate you with that language, Frick. But create craft cocktails based on NLL teams. So they will be inspired by a team or, whether that's the color of the drink, the type of spirit that's involved in the drink, that it relates to the region of where the team is. So that's going to be a cool thing that I'm going to incorporate as well, and might include some non-alcoholic versions for the underage kids, the Prestons and such. So that's going to be a fun thing. But also, it's just a food journal for me, going around New York City, one of the great food cities in the world, and just making sure that I'm really being fully immersed into my eating and drinking experiences, because it really is special when you get a great drink and go to a great bar, or you go to a great restaurant and get great service. It really does feel special. So love those moments.
When I was I mentioned on Twitter, my parents had a 25th anniversary. I was at Longhorn.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, and I can't explain. I'm sure people are like, soda, but like there's certain places you go to, like those bars, their soda comes out like that long tube, and it just tastes fresher. I don't know what it is, so I enjoy the Coke there.
So it is interesting. I mean, obviously, the tap systems are very important. Wherever you go, you need the lines to be clean. You need no tangled up stuff. You want things to be as fresh as possible.
Yep.
When it comes to soda waters and bubblies and things like that, if you're going to have it on tap, the amount of pressure, or PSI they call it, can change the amount of bubbliness that's going on. So there's a lot of different elements. It's not as easy as just push a button and then you get what you want.
Yeah, those are nasty. All right, so let's jump into the NLL now. I also love that there's more than just Dylan Ward. That was nice. That was good.
Yeah. We're gonna do it all season long. Tons of guys, tons of content. So stay tuned to that.
All right, let's get done with the food and the kids. All right, we're going to. I asked. So I've got 3 questions for Adam, folks, beforehand. One of them is the one I'm actually more curious about, which I'm going to ask you first.
Sure.
Is the player or players you think could break out? You can do Dyson. I don't care what you do, but who do you think breaks out this year in the NLL?
So I've been thinking about it, and I've got a handful of players for you. And breakout, I'm using as a relative term, whether that's someone who's going to be a big star, or someone who's just going to have an improved year, where we're mentioning their names more, or hearing their names more on the broadcast because of the impact they're making.
Claire Rich, click.
I mean, so it's interesting. You when we think about guys like Marcus Clarich, and there are people in his ilk. I was kind of avoiding those guys because, yes, they could have a better year, and I expect a guy like Marcus to have a better year, especially with the offense the Vancouver Warriors now have. But it feels like we started talking about him last year, so I wanted to think of who are guys that we weren't really talking about last year that I think we'll be hearing a little bit more of. One of those guys, and I hope he definitely gets a full season of playing time. We didn't see a lot of him last year, is the Saskatchewan Rush's Levi Anderson. Not just picking him because of the name. Want to get that out of the way. I'm picking him as great talent, a great character guy, but a huge athletic force out there. I think he can be a really great role player and really establish himself for the Rush. So I think he's someone that we'll be talking a lot more about. And then I saw you had my colleague and good friend Steven Stamper on the program, and he was saying so many great things about the Georgia Swarm. So I wanted to put my hat behind a couple of the names that I think he mentioned, which is Jacob Hickey, a full season of him being healthy, and then another guy in Torrin Eccleston. I think those are 2 guys that could really have big seasons. Georgia's had so much turnover, and they are trending younger. I know that was something also that Stamper talked about. They wanted to get these younger guys playing and get more experience. So I think that those are 2 guys on the Swarm.
Love Torrin.
For the Black Bears, I wanted to put Reed Kurtz on there, Ty Kurtz's younger brother. He's someone that was highly touted coming in. Wanted to also, I think we talk so much about offensive guys, wanted to give a shout out to a defensive guy there. And, when you have a guy, that has the potential to be a strong, solid defender in front of Zach Higgins, I think we'll be talking more about him. There's so many names that I could have picked for the Calgary Roughnecks because they've overhauled their team. And I'm not going to go with one of the rookies because I don't think, if we're talking about breakout, I don't think rookie is fair for that. But I'm going to put I'm going to put Matthew Gauthier on there, as well as, when I say guys like Marcus and not including him, but I do want to give a shout out to Hayden Dixon, because I think Hayden Dixon has the potential to reach over 30 goals this season. He's been around the 20 mark, but the way he's played in summer ball with a great Salmon Bellies club in recent years, and had the seasons that he's had playing against men in man cups, things like that, I think that he's ready to take that next step for them. But I think that Matthew Gauthier for me is one of those guys. Another one, and I know I've got a bunch of these here, but Mitch Armstrong of the Philadelphia Wings.
Well, they need some help.
Yeah, they need some help. And one of the things that's hindered him is injuries. He was drafted by the Philadelphia Wings a few years ago, missed a few games in his first year, but played very well. And then last year missed all but one game. So he has just, at 21 years old, he's been injured throughout most of his young career, but he's still so young, still so capable. He's got the St. Catharines connection with his coach, Ian Rubel. So I think that if he's healthy, that he will be a guy that we'll be talking about. And then with the changes with Buffalo, and we saw a little bit of him last year, I would say Clay Scanlon, if he gets the playing time that he deserves, that him in Buffalo is another one that we could be looking at. It'll be interesting, obviously with Mike Triolo and Ryan Bernesh going to Buffalo, how they fit him in. There's these new pieces. There'll still be a lot of offensive weapons, but I think Clay is someone that we'll be talking about.
Levi Anderson, Jacob Hickey, Torn. I love Torn Eccleston. Reed Kurtz. Pop quiz for you. Do you know who Reed Kurtz scored his only goal against last year?
I have no idea.
Calgary.
Okay, there we go.
I was listening to that. Is it Gauthier or Gautier for Matthew?
I
never knew that.
It's probably the most French, whatever.
Gauthier.
Yeah,
I love it.
So.
Hayden Dixon, Mitch Armstrong, and Clay Scanlon. I like that. I like that list. Good little list too. Like guys that like the Wings need help. If Scanlon can help at that. They need a couple of guys to step up now that a couple of guys. I like that. Good list. Oh, that was well done.
Thank you.
I was not expecting.
I only come on the program to give you my best, Mike.
The Nuggets. I'm honestly when the tournament breakout is relative, like you said.
Yep.
But I love that you didn't Claire just a layup. But I'm glad you went with the guys that no one's talking about at all. Love that. Cool. All right. This was a little bit more. It's controversial, but it's tough because. I'm going to name people the teams that missed the playoffs last year in the NLL. Ottawa, Jeff Tate. Oshawa in the finals 2 years ago. Toronto, they're good again. Dogs, roster overhaul. Wings, shout out. And the Mammoth, who were the last team to win a finals before Buffalo. Shout out to Matthew Carruck on the broadcast. So of those teams, pick one that you think has the best chance to make the playoffs. It's a tough list, man.
Well, I'll give you two that I believe will be in the playoffs this year.
Oh, will be. Okay.
Will be, not that has the best
Only
chance.
two.
I think Toronto is going to be in there.
Good pick.
And I also think that Oshawa is going to be in there as well. So those are my two teams that I think out of that list are going to make the playoffs.
Obviously, you could have said Vegas too, but I mean...
I think they're going to be on the cusp. You've talked so much about goaltending. You've talked so much about defense. They've made some improvements. And look, that offense is going to be so electric. I think that, this is a situation where depending on how the Desert Dogs do, we could be looking at, and I know that Hutton Jackson said this yesterday on the program, that Mitch Jones is going to be the straw that stirs the drink. If the Desert Dogs do very well, we could be looking at Mitch Jones as an MVP contender again, especially with the offense that he has around them. So that'll be very interesting, but there's just so many questions on the back end that still have not been answered. I know they've made some changes. And I really do hope that Landon Kells can have a great year. When you look at some of these young goaltenders in the league, it's about time that some of them start to really break out, to use the segment we were talking about before, and establish themselves. So, look, I hope that could happen, but, I have to look at what we've seen so far and know that there's also going to be some adjustments when you make so many overhauls. So it's tough to put them in.
Earlier, Cody asked, does Bouquet get the starter spot? Bouquet's shown flashes before, and then Frick says can't see it.
I cannot see it. I
I
can't.
think it's Kel. You said Kel's in the comment the other day, I think.
I did, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Look, I Bouquet, his sound bites. He seems like a good dude. I've seen him play in the summer, and he's great. But I mean, we're talking about a guy who hasn't played in the NLL in a couple of years.
Correct.
He's doing some great coaching out in Vancouver, I believe, for the UBC Thunderbirds. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what he's been doing. But even the numbers that he had when he was in the NLL more consistently don't necessarily prove that he should be one. And then when you add the fact he hasn't been in the league for a couple of years, that would just be a very intriguing choice. I'll put it that way, to have him starting.
To pile on, just for the record, Bouquet, and because I said this on the show the other day, his only season above 78% was his rookie year when he played less than 300 minutes. So it's like, but that's how Kells and even Getty were. So like, Frick says it's going to be Con. I would love this. I know no one's going to say it, but I think it should be Con. I'm still with Frick on that.
So I think Con is going to be good. I think he's young, and he might get some minutes if Kells isn't working. The way I would rank it, if it were me, I would do Kells, Con, and then Bouquet in that order. But I think Kells, only 24 years old. I think we forget about that sometimes, not even hitting that peak for goaltenders yet.
Yes.
So, he's been your guy, and I just think that to take away opportunities from guys who haven't had the full opportunity at their best.
You mean the team in front of him, and even his best too, yeah.
Right. And so, and also with all the changes, to make a switch just seems like, well, give the guy a chance. Like, now you've got this new roster, let's see what he can do with it. And then if it doesn't work, you've got opportunities and possibilities to change it up.
Interesting. Well, let's do our last topic. I'm excited for this. I don't know if you're going to give us a winner, but I did ask you to give me an on-air NLL Finals matchup, head-to-head. Tell me who we're watching in June.
So, this might be a bit of a shock to people, but I am not having the Buffalo Bandits in my finals this year. I know that might get some hate. It's more of playing the odds, in the sense of, to be even contending for a championship 4 years in a row for any sport is absolutely insane. But, yes, it's great that they brought back Matt Vince, but he's another year older. And when we're talking about another year older for someone who's 42, even and I put out a tweet, I think, about this with Kells, if he had stopped 16 or 20 more saves, maybe they would have been at 500 last season. It's the same you could say about Matt Vince. If he doesn't make 20 more saves, is Buffalo where they were? And what happens there? And when you're another year older, who knows? And that goes the same for Steve Priolo and same for Paul Dawson. I'm not saying that they're too old and not going to be capable, but you have to think about that when you're talking about another long championship run.
Yes.
So I have Vancouver in the finals, and I have them playing Saskatchewan. Obviously, the news that I think it was you that broke about Jake Naso being out, that's a bit tough. Yeah, but at the same time, the data has suggested that face-offs necessarily don't really matter.
Oh, jeez, man.
I've been a pro face-off guy, so I'm right there with you. But I got to run with the data there, and I will say that when Mike Messenger has been at the face-off X, I think that it's.
I trust him.
He's been solid enough, and so I think that shouldn't impact things much. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Saskatchewan in there, but I will throw a sleeper team in there that could make it to the finals. And I'm all in on the Rochester Nighthawks right now. We talked about goalies that maybe haven't lived up to their hype yet. Rylan Hartley is right there. And so I think with the team that Dan Carey has put together, adding Zed Williams, you've got some great young talent there. Graydon Hogg, another year at Jake Piscino, Thomas McConvey improving, and then of course the three-headed monster of Ryan Smith, Connor Fields, and Ryan Lanchberry. I just think that they're a really well-balanced, solid team, and we saw what they did last year, and I think that they'll continue to improve. And so I'm not saying they're going to be there, but don't be shocked if they make a run for the championship.
McCauley and Fields need to get healthy from what we know, but let's hope that they are. I mean, if they same thing with Naso, because we're not going to, because NLL teams love to be vague about injuries, i.e. Randy Stotts with Halifax, we have to trust they're going to be there when it counts.
Yep.
That's what we're hoping for. Oh,
yeah, and look, Halifax is going to be an interesting case, and I know how you feel about them, and I know that there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions, and that goes back to what have you actually shown us that you can do instead of what you are capable of doing, and they're going to be interesting. Brendan Bobbery is great. I think that's going to be a very interesting dynamic, but it's hard to throw them in any kind of championship conversation when they just haven't gotten over the humps that they need to.
In their defense, I'll say it again, if Mike Messenger does not go scorched earth on that play that TSN couldn't even pick up, we're Halifax might be in it.
Yeah.
Now, they might also be losing to Buffalo like Saskatchewan did,
but
it is very interesting how that played out. So that was as close as they've been here, so we'll see.
Look, the roster's great. On paper, that roster is super talented up and down. So, you always got to keep them in mind.
Before I let you go, if the NLL was played on this, preseason wouldn't matter. So I'm just going to do. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Adam, for everything, for coming back on the show. I'm sure we'll have you on again, even if it's not every Friday. But you keep doing you. And does pineapple go on pizza?
I'd say it does.
Wow.
We are in a pizza renaissance right now. There's so many unique and creative things. If you want to do a classic pizza pie, like a John's on Bleecker Street pizza, then go for that. Go for the New York slice or whatever. But we can't forget the pizza that we're talking about is different than the Italian pizza that was pizza. So, if people are changing pizza and, now we think that American pizza is what it should be, well, let's just be accurate with our history. And we've been making changes for a long time.
Love that. Have a great day, Adam. Tell Preston he's awesome.
Yes. And I will say Preston's picks will be out on Tuesday next week for the first week of the season. And I just wanted to say for the Lacrosse Matrix, those episodes are going to be regular. I've got 2 episodes this week, finishing with Tyler Pace's episode right now, and then 2 more next week. But I will be adding each and every week episodes breaking down Preston's picks, and I will not hold back. It's going to be a very interesting season for Preston's picks, but I will have special Lacrosse Matrix episodes looking at his picks and looking at the numbers there.
Love that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
Adam Levy, everybody. That was fun. See, was not expecting the pizza history. That was awesome. Good stuff. Again, I just threw the paper. I'll get it later. A lot of good players on the list that he had, for the record. I will look at that later and post them as a reel or something. I can't believe I threw that paper over there. Cool. All right, folks, when we come back to this show, wow. Who is my 4th-ranked team? They ain't got much to give. So, who is it? Stay tuned. You're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, Click on your bet and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Seven days away from knowing what time it is. But also, 7 days away from the NLL season. But yeah, same thing. Is not really the same thing, but it kind of. Anyways, on the show today, we have talked about the Thunderbirds adding Justin Getty and the fire that it might light underneath of Warren Hill and Drew Hutchison. Also, we talked to Adam Levy, quite an awesome conversation, might I add, about Preston's picks and the prizes that are to come this year. Go to officepooljunkie.com to sign up there, and also Lax Class. Adams is more of a straight picks. Lax Class does the their Who You Got thing, does a confidence meter. That's a little bit different. So officepooljunkie.com. Also Instagram, the Bite Lines. I was not expecting the NLL player collapse, but he talked about Keegan Ball, Logan Schuss, Dylan Ward. It's a lot of stuff there. The Bite Lines on Instagram to see if you want to dine where the players dine. We talked about players have a breakout. I cannot stress you enough. Was not expecting that kind of a list. I was actually very happy about that. You know, like anybody could say, like, I love Marcus Claridge. I think there's other players out there that I'm not thinking off the top of my head that could break out. Chase Fraser could score 40 goals, but this guy went underneath the table there and took out some gems. That was beautiful. And of course, we talked about how he thinks Toronto and Oshawa will make the playoffs, and did question Vegas, even though he probably might have them in the playoffs anyways. And of course, he thought Vancouver and Saskatchewan will make the finals, but don't be surprised if Rochester's in it. And speaking of Oshawa, I did it. They're going to finish 12-6 in my opinion. Yep. I've got the Oshawa Firewolves in all their relocation glory, finishing 12-6. I don't think, again, people can overestimate the impact of Doug Jameson. And I'm pretty sure last year he didn't have his greatest season yet, and he still had a 79.6 save percentage. But like as Hutton Jackson mentioned, the injuries, they're still good. They still have Dyson, who, oh, by the way, looks freakishly good in preseason. Some of the clips that we've seen, that man, like the goals, like, wow, that was disgusting. It shouldn't be possible. His touch is incredible. Alex Simmons, my guy, superstar Alex Simmons. I love that guy. Ty Kurtz, Will Johansson's a year older, and the defensive veterans that are already there. Guys, Oshawa has no business not making the playoffs and not being good in the playoffs, okay? I do believe that. I will let you know again next week. I think it's next Thursday I do this. Yeah, so next Thursday I do my playoffs and championship prediction. But, I mean, I think Oshawa's going to be very good this year, very competitive. I am all bought into this team, 12-6 record, which makes you wonder how good are the top three teams on my list. And now we know in alphabetical order, it is Buffalo, Saskatchewan, and Vancouver. Who finishes first, second, and third? Find out on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Folks, it's going to be a very fun season. We are just getting started, but we're not there yet, and we still have, again, some more shows to get to. So we'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. Just to check this, by the way, because I didn't get to earlier, I forgot, like, the NLL, I believe, is having, like, 2 more. I just checked the NLL Plus website, actually. They've got 2 more games on the docket this week. I know one of them is a Toronto Rock game. But just for the record here, watch one of you comment something. So tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern, the Wings and the Rock. And then let me see who commented. I'm gonna laugh. Oh, wow. He thinks Oshawa's gonna win it all. There you go, Frick. And then tomorrow at 10 o'clock, Vancouver in Colorado. Okay, so there you go. Cool. That's on NLL Plus. I don't listen, it's not on Daily Dive, but you're welcome for the free advertising. We've had quite a bunch of free advertising. Have a great day, everybody. Look, what is your favorite pizza? Tell me on Daily Dive LAX. Oh, and by the way, after you comment and follow the socials, please email the show, dailydivelax@gmail.com, for business inquiries, or I guess if you have questions or concerns, like, oh, you don't like my favorite player, I guess I might read it. Have a great day, everybody. This has been Daily Dive. Stay safe. Bye.